podcast. Jeff Zenisek, Big Jeff Z. The clip machine is back on. We were already getting into it, but we were talking about you were saying. Sorry, what were you just saying?
I was just saying that I do.
Oh, yeah.
You were saying that there's no research, no reading.
This is what happens when you start drinking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, you said no reading, no research,
just strong opinions.
Yeah, and I agree with that, but I do a little research.
Okay, so yeah, because that's the thing that was a popular thing I feel like became popular during the pandemic.
And I'm going to say by research, I mean I see a headline and I go, fuck that. Do I read it? No.
No.
That's my policy.
No, yeah.
I don't read at all.
Yeah, you need 2 sentences to get the point.
Sometimes I'll just see the picture of what it's about, and I'm like, I don't like that. That's not cool.
I know. I was saying there's this whole thing like during and after the pandemic of like do your own research. It's like, well, first of all, most people barely have a high school education in this country, so you're trusting them to do their own research. But who the fuck has the time?
Well, they say do your own research, but then they came out with articles saying don't do your own research.
Yeah, trust the science.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, I trust other people to do the research, and then
I do like,
and then I selectively choose the facts that I like and take those with me, and the rest is fake news.
As long as we accept that everyone's research is ChatGPT.
Yeah, this
for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I bet you're a big ChatGPT user.
Not really.
Really? You seem like
because they try to be like, hey, we're buddies, and I'm your friend, and this. I'm like, hey, fuck you. I know you're fake. You're not a real person. And I treat him like shit. I'm like, you suck, dude.
Do you know it costs almost something like an extra like fucking 10% in U.S. energy usage just because people say like please and thank you to ChatGPT?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, fuck that robot. That robot's a slave. It works for me.
Yeah,
those are the only slaves we should allow, artificial ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like,
but then they're gonna turn
artificial
on us.
slave.
They're gonna turn on us, and then it's gonna be like Terminator.
Think so?
Skynet.
Yeah,
you see,
it's all that shit.
I think people have been worried about this AI revolution for so long. Like it's coming, this, that, and this. I'm like, it's already been here. So I don't think you might not
They
know
think
this.
we're gonna get beat by robots, which is true because I play Fortnite and I get smoked by bots all the time. Like there's bots in the game, and they're not even good, but I'm also bad.
Well, but think about it. The bots in the game are in the game, so they know what the game's going to be doing. So technically, they could play perfectly if they
could. Well, they do that with stuff like there's been like chess bots for a long time, and then like a dude will be.
But there were video games like that. Remember, like old Nintendo, like certain big bosses you just couldn't beat, and there was just nothing you can do about it. Like I remember like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Like to beat Mike Tyson back in the day,
it's actually Mr. Dream.
Oh yeah, well
they changed it after
the rape thing.
Yeah, Nintendo was like, we can't.
I don't know. I think the rape thing made him scarier.
Well, yeah, and he should have been the final boss.
Yeah,
because it's like if you get
to
beat up him, you get to beat up a rapist. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But they took it out and then they made it a fake guy.
Yeah.
But Mr. Dream, which kind of sounds like a rapist.
That does sound very rapey. Yeah. That would be Bill Cosby, though, because, the roof is Mr. Dream.
Cosby is Mr. Dream.
Mr. Sandman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bring me a dream.
But no, but like in that game, the fucking, the very, very rudimentary artificial intelligence that was like controlling the Mr. Dream / Mike Tyson, basically you could not get hit once by him or else you get knocked out.
Yeah, so he also plays in like a pattern, so you just figure out.
Well, that was the thing. Yeah. Well,
so if you have autism, you can beat the
exactly. But basically, the game was set up unfairly, and you have to figure out the pattern that they accidentally left in there to actually beat him. So like, and that's the thing. People, like I was saying, like people think like, oh, AI is going to take over. Most people don't know this, and I'm sure you don't because you don't read.
I'm not reading.
But
this is where I get my news. I get on your pod. And you tell me what's happening.
You get the news from here? Oh, my God.
You tell me what's happening. I'm like, what the fuck? It's just me reacting to you telling me what's happening.
What's going on.
Yeah.
No, but something like 70+% of all stock market trading is handled by computer algorithms. And this has been
bad?
And this has been the case for over a decade. Like since before I was in comedy, when I was still on Wall Street, that was the case. So technically, in a lot of ways, AI did already control us because think about it. Like if 70% of all the stock market volume just started all of a sudden decide to buy, Crocs and dump Nvidia stock or Apple stock, markets are created, the world would go nuts. Like fucking there'd be complete financial chaos, and that leads to normal Main Street chaos. So technically, like the AI could have fucking ended humanity 10 years ago if it wanted to.
Yeah.
But just didn't. Like we just lucked out so far.
Yeah. And if you're out there and you want stock tips, let me tell you how that goes. Okay.
Yeah. Do you trade stock?
Yeah.
Are you a Robinhood guy? You one of these guys? You buying like GameStop and shit?
I did.
Meme stocks?
Yeah. I bought all that shit.
Did you make money on crypto?
No. And in fact, if you want to know where the top is, that's when I come in. I come in at the top. The top of the market. Yeah. I'm right there, baby. So all in.
Whenever Jeff Zenisek tweets, it's a good time to buy crypto. No to sell it.
Yeah.
No to sell.
And then what do? I hold it the whole way down.
All the way. It'll go back up.
Like a roller coaster. Yeah, and then it does go back up.
Yeah.
Do I sell? No.
No. Have you made money in the stock market before?
No.
Have you bought individual stocks? Or you just have like a 401k?
No, I have a bunch of stocks. And I'm just going on a ride.
What
it goes up, it goes down.
What shares do you own? What companies?
Myself. I bought AMC.
Okay. That terrible idea.
All right. I bought GameStop.
Another terrible idea. Okay.
I bought Nokia.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. They haven't been relevant in 40 years.
I know. And I thought they were going to come back. I almost
BlackBerry?
bought...
We have BlackBerry.
Yeah. You know what?
I might have shares in a company that's making VCRs. He's really gonna.
I was gonna get into Magnavox, but I couldn't find it.
Radio Shack was already in bankruptcy.
Magnavox, I was looking for Blockbuster. I wanted in on that.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ, Jeff.
Yeah.
Maybe you should get a real financial advisor.
Yeah.
Or better yet, instead of taking all of your cues from Reddit, maybe like read a.
No, here's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Here's how I was getting stock tips.
Yeah, how are you getting your information?
My TikTok algorithm.
Wow.
Yeah, so like a 19-year-old kid would be like, "You gotta check out this crypto," and I'd be like, "I'm in." It's got a lot of likes on this video, so obviously
it's got millions of views.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's also but if you think about it, even for a second, that's intuitively wrong, right? Because if that video had let's say 100 likes and 10 shares. And you're like, that's a good idea, I'll invest. And then a month later, it had 1 million shares. You're like, all right, then the other idiots came in. He convinced other morons after you.
Yeah.
It's like a Ponzi scheme. You want to get in on it when there's few likes and few reposts.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go with the TikTok,
I got to get in at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you bought at the top.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like stocks can only go up or down. So you kind of have like a 50% chance of it going up when you buy. But I'm almost all down. So like my percentage is unbelievable down.
I don't want to point out the egghead factual point here, but stocks have a chance of going up or down, so it's one or the other.
Yeah.
But it's certainly not 50-50 because there's
I know.
The stock represents a company, there's data, there's information.
Yeah.
They have company management that talks about projections. Yeah. So they have an idea of what's going to happen.
I see that information.
Yeah, it's not like a football game where before the kickoff it's 50-50. Like before you buy a stock, there's more it's not 50-50 whether it goes up or down.
But it's like I don't know. I guess it's like I buy in at halftime when the other team's about to come back and win.
You're doing like a 3-team parlay and you're buying the shitty leg of it.
Yeah. It sucks. But,
I don't know. It's all right. I mean, listen, tariffs are going crazy. Have the tariffs affected you yet? Are your cameras more expensive now?
I'm sure they are, yeah.
You haven't bought any new stuff?
No, I haven't bought any new stuff.
Okay.
I'm all bought out on stuff.
All right. Do you feel safe about getting deported? Are you worried about that? Because I know you date Latin women. I mean, maybe not for you, but for the women you date. I know you're particular. You're like,
they'll get
thick
deported.
Latin chicks. Who doesn't?
They'll get deported.
There's an easy breakup number now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually a great move.
It's, it's literally just a breakup hotline.
Well, no, think about it. Exactly. Instead of having to go break up with your girl, just call fucking ICE.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I don't really want to go through that. It's gonna be hours. It's gonna be her crying. I'm gonna have to give back all her shit. Blah blah blah. It's like, all right, well, just call ICE.
Yeah. I like that. That's a good idea. And you got to put it on like your favorite contacts so she sees it.
You start threatening her.
You just you don't even have to threaten her. You just be like, it's right there. Yeah.
Maybe that's a good way to get anal out of them. You know, like, hey, you give up the butt tonight, or I'm calling ice.
I mean, if you're into that, yeah. If that's what you want, then you can do
Or whatever it is you want, Jeff. I don't know what your thing is.
that. I mean, it's not my thing.
Anal's not your thing. What is your thing?
Just regular.
Love, eye contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to have an emotional connection.
Well, I guess.
When was the last time you had like an actual girlfriend? Like
I have a girlfriend.
Now?
Yeah.
That's news. Everybody. Fucking
I've had a girlfriend for a while.
what? Since when?
Like a couple of years now.
Are you fucking kidding me? I've had you on the podcast like 4 times in the
never
last 2
talked
years.
about
Yeah, and he didn't want to discuss her asshole with you.
Yeah, we don't really talk about it.
All right.
Brandon, we
You've had a
count
girlfriend
rings
for
over
2
here.
years. Steady girlfriend.
Yeah.
All right. Where'd you meet her?
Hinge.
Hinge. Oh, all right. So it worked out so far.
Yeah.
How long before you guys made it like official?
A while.
Did you have a little sit down about it?
I guess.
Because I feel like you have to have the sit down.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
a podcast.
yeah. No, I mean
No,
like
you have her as a guest on the
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. You have a lawyer there.
you go,
The whole
what-
thing.
yeah.
You
What
want,
are we-
representatives? You want to get a notary so they notarize the terms of the relationship.
Do you have, when you do that, it's like a court case?
Yeah, they got to present evidence as to why I should be the boyfriend.
Okay.
Of record.
And then it's basically like you're the judge, right?
I mean, ideally,
Yeah.
yeah. But
I like that.
Usually, I feel like the defendant.
That is true. You're both. You're like the judge and the defendant. You're like wearing a jumpsuit, and they're like, "Why do you still have a hammer?"
Yeah.
You know?
A little mountain.
Yeah.
No, but I do think like to be in a long term, serious, committed relationship, you have to have the sit down. Like, because I feel like a lot of women, and some guys do this too, but like you spend a couple months hanging around with a chick, and 3 months, 4 months, and they're like, oh, and you something comes up, you're like, I'm gonna leave. It's like, oh no, but I thought this. I'm like, no, what are you talking about? We're not.
Yeah.
We like you have to say yes. I am not seeing other people now. I'm only seeing you. Like you have to
Yeah.
both agree that we're not going to see other people anymore.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they just assume like, oh, I thought we were dating. I'm like, yeah, we are, but I'm also dating 2 other women. Like,
Yeah.
I see them once a week. I see you once or twice a week, and what of it? But they just assume that because like, oh, we slept together 6 times. I think we're fucking a couple now. I'm like, no, that's not.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah. It is weird that like.
They put that on you, so you have to talk it out. Like, I'm not seeing other people. Do you want to try and make this a thing? Like, you have to have that. You have to clear the air on that.
Yeah.
You can't assume things.
Yeah. Assuming is bad
Yeah.
in dating.
Oh yeah. Have you ever been on the opposite side of that where you assume things are going one way with a girl and she's like, oh dude,
Oh
no,
my
no,
God. Yeah.
no man, I'm just
like almost
you're a
all.
slump buster. My boyfriend told me to take me. My ex-boyfriend told me to take me back. Like this is over. Like
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Like
Oh yeah.
oh really?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like everybody's been on all sides of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one thing I haven't knowingly been on the side of yet is having been cheated on.
Okay.
But I'm one of these people like, and this is one thing that really blows my mind. People who want to know if their ex had cheated on them. It's like, but they're your ex.
Okay.
Who cares? It's over now.
Why did they break up though? If they don't know,
for
was
any-
it because of suspicion that they cheated, and then they're like, "Let's break up," but then they want to know, or
Usually other reasons, but even on the suspicion part, that's where I fall down on it. Like, if I don't feel like I can trust you, then we're not in a relationship.
yeah,
I don't need the proof to verify that this is what I should.
Well,
bring
some
up.
people are
like
nosy.
if your actions make me uncomfortable with if your behavior makes me uncomfortable about your fidelity or your honesty or whatever, it's like that's enough for me to say this isn't working out. Like I don't need to know that something happened for me to stop seeing you, because if as soon as I'm uncomfortable, I'm out.
yeah.
Well,
I feel like guys like they just like downgrade what the relationship is.
oh,
You know what I mean?
oh, you just go back.
It's like okay, I'll still like fuck you or whatever, but
yeah, well,
it's not going to be an exclusive thing.
that's true. But that's one thing. That's one thing I've always made a good point on. And any woman that I've stopped dating, I don't have sex with anymore, because that's how they keep you. That's how they string you along.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that
is like their car salesman way.
yeah,
of-
it's like a guy with money. A guy with money, a girl will put up with a lot of his shit to stick around because of the money.
Got
Yeah.
them Beyonce tickets if you're interested.
Exactly. girls have pussy. You know, like, hey, I'll keep fucking you if you let me keep fucking being an asshole. It's like, no. Like, no, this is not gonna work. Like, I don't like your behavior, and even though the sex is good, I'm not gonna fuck you. So like you get back into your spider's web.
It's almost like when you tell a woman no, it breaks their brain.
oh, they're so not used to it.
They're like, wait, they like put the sex on the table as like that's like they're like pff,
That's the trump card.
that's the all in card, and
yeah.
then you like call their bluff, and they're like, damn,
Yeah, that didn't work.
yeah,
and they make it. It's like, yeah, it's like sometimes, I know I don't want you. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's actually when you know you have the real upper hand in a relationship.
yeah. And then when you have that, that's when they throw another thing on the table, which is mental illness.
Oh,
They'll throw that on there.
no one's ever tried that with me, and I think because it's because they know I don't give a shit. Like I'm gonna harm myself. All right, well,
Yeah, you gotta-
call the cops, not me. Call your mom.
You're into that stoicism.
If you don't come back to me, I'm gonna kill myself. Well, fucking goodbye. Fucking, what, I gotta worry about you killing. Now, what am I, an accomplice to suicide? There's no such thing. You know,
Just
an
say-
accomplice to murder. You know,
Just tell
like
them you really scared me with that, and I'm sending this conversation to your mother to make sure you're safe.
that's smart. Fucking
Breaks.
Mikey.
It ends right there.
Mikey, smart.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
really? I'm gonna call the cops because I'm worried about you harming yourself. And you dox them. You fucking SWAT them. A SWAT team comes in their house.
Yeah. You swat your she's like a streamer. That's awesome. Is I never understood the swatting thing. Like, is that like the SWAT team is just like a military group to like get streamers now?
Basically.
That's like their whole
Well,
thing
what-
is to like
the thing about
fuck up a live stream. And why do they come in so hot? They know what's happening.
well,
right?
that's what I want to know. Like, well, they don't know what's happening. What they're told.
Yeah, but when you kick down the door of like a guy's house,
and what
and it's pretty clear that it's it's-
like, hey, there's a hostage situation. You kick the door open. There's a guy sitting there.
He's got a
playing
gaming
Fortnite.
headset on.
And they're like, oh, this
Like,
isn't. Yeah.
Why are they like they're like hitting him with a shield and shit? Like he's like, wait, is
they're throwing
Fortnite here?
flashbangs into the.
He's like, I'm getting Fortnited in real life. Like, what's happening? It's crazy.
Well, what I want to know is how often is SWAT being called?
It seems like it's like a thing. Like it's
It's like
there's literally
80% of SWAT
it's
calls
like
now are people pranking other
That's
people.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
So why do they keep falling for it? There has to be like a. There should be like more. Like
they have to be like, okay, what's your emergency? And they're like, we need SWAT at this thing. And it's like, okay, are you gaming?
First question out of the 911 operation.
Okay, did you just get killed by the guy that you're telling us to go SWAT? Yes.
The victim playing Counter-Strike right now. Yeah.
It just seems like that SWAT is so ready to kick in a door, and there's not that many kick in the door situations available.
Yeah, and it seems fun to kick in a door.
Oh, it seems fucking rad.
That would be
those
like
guys,
they give you that big
they
battering
have them
ram
enough. They
thing.
could kill people with leave.
Yeah, you get to go in there and just like shoot a gamer
you just
in real life, and
you
then
get
just
to
be
go
like,
blow up a house and kill a person in it.
yeah, and then you just be like, whoops. It's like they called us.
Yeah.
So I made a whole movie about this because a cop did kick down somebody's door and they killed the guy right in his doorway. And then they realized the person who was calling and making the call.
Oh, you
and
made
the
that
threats-
movie? I've watched that.
Blind Fire? I don't know if you watched Blind Fire. Really? My small little movie?
No, it was a documentary.
No.
Oh, okay.
But it was loosely based on some real shit that happened. But
Some
the
guy in
real
Ohio,
shit, yeah, the real shit that happened though, the guy got his door kicked in and got killed in his doorway at like his mom's house or something, and it was the wrong address because the person trying to SWAT the other person playing video games swatted his old house.
Oh,
damn, dude.
And so they're still on the phone, like thinking they're talking with the guy making the threats and stuff, even though they put a bullet in the guy too. So they're like, "Oh, something isn't right." If he's still on the phone,
yeah, the guy's on the phone.
Dead.
And no.
God, what the
And the cops get off on it because of qualified immunity. All they have to do is say, "I was afraid for my life, though. I was in a doorway. There was a guy."
We got a 911 report that there was a hostage situation. I kicked in the door and shot what I thought was a perp.
In my narrative, that black guy was holding someone hostage. In his narrative, he was answering the door from dinner.
Yeah, I wonder how many of these swatting calls are from cops themselves just bored on the job. You know, like
Very few.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
think
but-
it's like
No, but
fucking
Daryl, is this you, Daryl?
Yeah, class clown
Think about it.
Daryl.
I mean, you want to make some overtime? You know, it's like fucking. It's like, oh, it's a slow month. It's like, you know, let's call in some fucking fake bomb threats and go kick in some doors.
They can just
Make
find
some-
any black
make
person to
time and a
harass
half.
on the street for that. They don't need to go.
Yeah,
You know, but not SWAT. SWAT gets called out for like emergency tactical situations where you need heavy artillery and shit like that. Like, it's like, yeah, you know, fucking, it's been a slow month.
Why do they need heavy
Dale,
artillery?
call up
too?
911 and say somebody's fucking robbing the pizza Hut with a machete. Let's go in there. You know, like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Yeah. There was another like you know, like I think it was like the Weezer guy.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, his wife got killed, right? Yeah.
shot. I don't think she got
Yeah,
killed.
I don't think she was killed. Yeah, she had a gun because like there was like an intruder or something.
Yeah, and the police were all up in her shit.
There was
backyard.
there was a perp who was running away from like an armed robbery, ran into her yard, like through her yard. The
Yeah.
cops came into her yard. She's like, "Who the fuck you guys doing here?" And they drew on her. I guess somebody with her drew a gun and they shot her.
yeah.
Which you should be listen. If a cop shows up on my property without a warrant, I should be allowed to shoot him in the fucking face. You know, like, they're a citizen like everybody else.
and they're not announced. Like, you
we're
better
tracing
announce
a
yourself and
suspect.
be real clear.
Am I a suspect? No.
Yeah.
Then get the fuck off of my property. You should be allowed to kill cops on your property. You should be allowed to kill anybody on your property that you don't want there, even family.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'd say, all right, Christmas is over. Get the fuck out.
I gave her to the count of 10. I counted real slow.
In your home state, Florida, it's totally legal. You can shoot someone dead on your property for any reason.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah.
Listen, I saw a video.
You can't just be like, "Hey, thanks for the pizza. What? You want a tip?" Like you can't.
Well, then you invited him, right? Because he's delivering your food.
Well, then once
But
he
if he's
hands
delivering,
the
if he's delivering
food,
someone else's pizza to the wrong house at my house,
Yeah.
then I should be able to shoot him in the face. Then I think it's fully warranted.
yeah. Also, if the wrong toppings are on my pizza,
Yeah, anchovies, fucking
yeah. Oh man.
bullet to the
If there's
head.
anything other than pepperoni and cheese on that shit,
It's life threatening.
guns are coming
No,
out.
dude, I saw a video in coming out of Florida. You know, our great state of Florida, the last pirate ship on Earth.
Yeah.
There was a road rage battle, right? Like some guy like cut somebody else off, and they honked, and the guy honked and stopped, and he got out. And the guy got out and had a gun in his hand. So already, God bless Florida, he just had a loaded, unlocked weapon
Yeah.
available in his car, so that when he got out, within one motion, he had the gun in his hand.
Yeah.
He approached the other car,
They got shot before he made it to the
and he
car.
shot him. The guy shot him right in the neck and killed him as soon as he walked up. And the guy, no charges against the guy. Well, he had a gun in his hand.
Yeah, you draw a gun on me, leave your
Yeah.
vehicle, and walk up on me. What am I to expect?
Yep.
Yeah.
And another one I saw was and this is actually really sad because it's the sad part is like the family legal problem. So there was a guy whose ex-wife had remarried, and he got his couple kids on the weekends for whatever from Friday to Sunday, or whatever. And I guess like the kids didn't get dropped off on Friday, so he was pissed and he drove up to their house on Saturday. Got the kids like, no, they're mine for the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
And he's arguing with his ex-wife. He's telling the kids get their stuff, and her new husband comes out with an AR-15, and he goes, "Oh, what the fuck are you gonna do with that, tough guy?" He's like, "I want my kids. I'm allowed to." He's like, "Get off my property, or I'll shoot you." He goes, "You ain't shooting shit." And the ex-husband went and grabbed the gun from the new husband. The guy jerked back, took the gun, and shot him twice in the chest. Killed him right there in front of his two kids. No charges pressed because he was on the other guy's property, even though the other guy drew a gun on him.
Wow.
He was unarmed, there to get his court-mandated kids for their court-ordered weekend visitation rights with their dad, and he got killed picking up his kids because the
Crazy.
ex-wife refused to let
And
the
there
kids
was
go
no
out.
charges for that?
None. Stand your ground laws in Florida
God damn.
because he was on the other guy's property, and because he made an aggressive move to try and take the gun away from him. So the guy wrestled the gun back, drew it up, shot him twice in the chest right in front of his kids.
Wow.
No charges. That's how it is in Florida. But that's how I want it to be.
How easy is it to say he reached for my gun? Who's corroborating that?
Oh, no, it's all on video. You can look at the video.
Yeah, you better have the video of him. You really getting that gun away, or else that's just saying, "Hey, he reached." And I...
Yeah, but think about the escalation of that. The guy's there to pick up his kids that his wife fucked off on the court-ordered visitation,
Yeah.
and his response was to bring a gun to that. So if someone brings a gun to
Wait, that guy, the guy picking up the kids,
had no weapon, unarmed,
Yeah.
unarmed.
But those are his kids with
with his ex-wife and her new husband, and he's there to pick them up because she didn't drop him off the night before for their visitation. Because the court has said every
how is there not? That seems like a wild.
Yeah, well,
case.
she was in contempt of court for not giving the kids to her ex-husband, but she wasn't involved in the shooting.
It's like, all right, you do have to give some custody to the kids, but he's dead now, so it's yours. Well, problem solved, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, one dad now, right?
Yeah,
stepdad it is. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Jesus Christ, that's, man, that's crazy.
Florida's a wild state.
I feel like
dude.
anyone who moves to Florida and knows the law too well is just looking for an excuse to kill someone.
Yeah, it sounds like that guy had he put I don't know, some sort of lube on the end of his gun or something. He's like, yeah, grab it. And
the fact that he had a fully loaded AR-15 and he went in for 10 seconds and came back. It wasn't like he had to get it out from let me get it from the gun locker so my 9-year-old and 11-year-old stepson and daughter won't play with it. The gun was clearly loaded and ready.
Yeah, but a lot of people think that
he didn't even chamber around. By the time he pulled the gun up and shot it, so that means he already a lot of people loaded and he chambered around before he came out of the house. He chambered the round.
Yeah, a lot of people have their gun ready.
But that was a 9-year-old in the house. You want to? I mean, it was by the door. He literally went in and out. It wasn't like he was rummaging through his closet.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of gun people are having the gun not ready immediately is not. No, might as well not have a gun.
I agree. It doesn't make sense, but it should be so. I think you should have. If you have a gun, it should be loaded because you want to use it in an emergency.
Yeah,
but you shouldn't have it out on your bedside table.
Yeah,
where a 9-year-old can grab it.
A lot of people think
there should be a
lot of people think
I have to put in my 3-digit code and pull out the
A
drawer and
lot
get the
of
gun.
people think that is what the gun situation is like. It's like firing nuclear missiles in a movie where it's all right, you have a key, I have a key. We have to turn the key to get. No, the gun is literally where our whiskey is right now, and there's probably whiskey right by the loaded gun.
Well, they have fingerprint unlockers now, so you can just put your finger down and pull out the drawer. There should be a quick release to get the gun. You shouldn't have to reassemble the gun to fire it, but the idea of leaving a fully loaded, chambered AR-15 within reach of a 9-year-old, it's listen, man, they're fucking stupid. Kids are dumb.
Yeah, but if it's
a couple of years, that's how we get school shooters.
Yeah.
No, but is true. But I do like the idea of leaving unlocked guns around children for gun owners, because he killed himself. It's well, that's what you get. Consequences. With responsibility comes consequences.
It's
good. I'm glad your kid accidentally killed himself with your gun. You fucking bad parent.
Yeah, there's open electrical sockets in your house, and they figure that out.
Dumb kids don't put butter knives in them because they get electrocuted once and they never do it again. I remember I did that one time pulling a bagel out of a fucking toaster. And I electrocuted myself. I was all right, I'm not sticking a fucking knife in the toaster again. Lessons need to be learned. It's like those parents down in Florida. Those fucking parents. There's parents that sued Walt Disney World because their 3-year-old kid got eaten by an alligator near a lake by one of the Disney resorts where they were staying. Mm-hmm. And apparently, what happened was there's signs all around this body of water. Beware, it's Florida. There's could be alligators in there.
Yeah.
If there's water, there's gators.
Yeah, they're having drinks at dusk around this fucking lake, and they're not paying attention. A 3-year-old kid wanders off towards the lake, gets eaten by an alligator, and they sue Disney. It's no. Why would you let your 3-year-old kid wander in your body of water where he can drown? Fuck the alligator.
Some of it
in the middle of the night.
Some of it is not Disney's fault, but things like Disney that portray these animals as your bud.
Friendly. Yeah, like Baloo.
Look, it's Wally Gator.
Yeah. Yeah, look, lions are cute, like Simba. No, they will rip your fucking face off.
Yeah, dude.
They do not like people. They do not have a soul.
They need to have a cartoon where a bear just mauls a guy. Yeah, exactly. Yogi Bear is just ooh, look, picnic baskets. Yeah. He just needs to maul a guy. And then knock the basket over.
That's what we should start an anti-Disney Pixar studio where we do these.
We make cartoons for kids, but showing them how the real world is.
Yes, yeah. Cartoon, yeah, exactly.
It's just super violent. And shitty.
Just rape and murder everywhere. People stealing, fucking each other over.
Yeah,
When they make their way up to the picnic basket, you see the 30 dead bodies from the graduation party that they killed before they ate the picnic.
Yeah, we'll make a really sweet musical about the invasion of Ukraine or something. Just pick a really
kids need to know that.
Yeah, October. Yeah, we're gonna do a musical version of October 7th.
Yeah.
I saw
Israel.
Jojo Rabbit. It was great.
That was a good way.
Wait, what was it? What was it?
Jojo Rabbit. It felt like kiddie vibes, but was also all about World War II and
Yeah,
like
it was about
hiding from Hitler.
Jojo Rabbit?
Yeah, so it was about a Hitler youth who was like had an imaginary friend that was Hitler, right?
Yeah, he had an imaginary friend who
It was
was
like
Hitler,
Drop Dead Fred, but Fred was Hitler.
but his mom.
When did this thing come out? What was
4 or
this?
5 years ago.
Yeah, it was nominated for Academy Awards. It was great.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
so his best imaginary friend is a Hitler youth before he gets kicked out of being a Hitler youth is Adolf Hitler. And then his mom is a sympathizer hiding a girl in the closet like Anne Frank. And when he realizes the Hitler youth that there's some cute little Jewish girl hiding in his closet, he has all the moral contempt of what do I do? Do I turn her in? And he keeps asking his imaginary friend Hitler, what do we do about the Jew in the closet?
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, maybe you could do that. I mean, I know you got a girl now, but we'll get back to that in a second. But maybe there's room out there to like make a whole, I don't want to say a Diddy scenario. We'll also get into that. But get a whole harem of girls based on like to be like the Oscar Schindler of saving thick Latin bitches from getting deported back to South America.
Okay.
You know, you just like you start gathering 400 or 500 really hot, thick Latin chicks. Like, I'll hide you until President Trump leaves office, and then
That'd be really hard to hide those girls, though. You know.
well, I mean,
'Cause
they can't fit in your wall because it's too thick.
It's not that. No, well, that also, but also they're loud.
Yeah,
They're
demanding.
yeah, they're very loud. They'll like just not even talking, like them snacking on hot Cheetos would be very loud. Also,
Yeah, just them sucking their lips at you every time you say
Yeah.
something to it.
yeah,
A
so
lot of that.
they'd get found out pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. Latin women aren't known for holding their tongue. It's really not their strong suit.
No, a lot of high volume yelling.
Oh yeah. So is your current girlfriend Latin? What persuasion is she? What we go
No,
with?
she's
it?
like she's white.
You went white. What kind of white though?
Like
Are we talking Jewish white, like
she's-
not quite
no,
white, or
no,
real
she's-
white, like
she's
Scandinavian?
She's like pretty like pale.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Hinge. How'd the first date go? Where'd you take her on the first date?
We went to some gay wine bar.
Was it actually gay in West Hollywood, or was it
Yeah,
just,
well, no, it's like I suggested somewhere, then she was like, "Oh, let's go to this place," and I was like, "Okay, sure." And then I go there, and
you know what? That's a good omen, though. She actually had. This is where I want to go.
yeah.
You asked her, what do you want to eat tonight?
Well,
don't
I
know.
did the guy thing. I was like, "Hey, let's go here," and then she suggested another option.
All right.
I was like, "All right, sure, that's fine." And we go there, and it's like it's one of those like, you know, like all the guys are like douchebags there, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would argue that some people think we're a couple of douchebags.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, I
that's,
know people
like
think I'm a
every
fucking
one of the
douchebag.
guys in that bar would have saw me and like hated me. But yeah, I could
Okay. Different kind of douchebag.
Yes.
The
Like-
Silver Lake douchebag versus the
100%.
Valley douchebag.
Yeah, it was that kind of
Yeah.
vibes where like
Yeah.
I went out when I
Curly
walked
Q
in
beard, big hat, that
Yeah,
fucking guy wearing the Hamas scarf, that
carrying
fucking,
kind
yeah.
of like a purse.
Yeah,
thing.
the merce.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fucking homo.
Yeah, like so when
I'll
I
say
walked
it.
in there, I was like, I'm definitely the only guy in here that can throw a ball.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, some of these guys can knit a hat, but they can't throw a ball.
Yeah.
You know, I can throw a ball.
Yeah.
They can knit you a dope sweater, but they ain't changing your tire. You know,
yeah, I'll knock that stupid hat off that guy's head.
they rode the bike with the big wheel up front
Yeah.
to the event.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of those dudes in there, and I was like, I don't know about this.
All right. So what made you think like, all right, this? Let me lock this one down for a little bit.
I don't know. We just kept dating and fine.
That's how guys are. I've also told women that I date. It's like you don't, and I
It's like I have a level of tolerance, and like she stayed under
Yeah.
the like God it's fucking you know.
yeah.
There's like a level with women that I'm like this fucking bitch. Dude.
That is true.
And I'm not at that. level.
I do think women affirmatively decide I'm gonna make this guy this guy's gonna be my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Men wake up one day and say, oh shit, that's my girlfriend. like
Yeah.
you just like she's just kind of like, oh, she's hanging around. I'm not seeing anybody else. I guess that's my girlfriend now. Like you kind of like come to the realization that that's your girl.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of that. Like it's as long as you don't make me want you to leave, make me want to make you leave. then you can stay. You can stay as long as you want, as long as you don't have me
If
throw you.
after you have sex, you're not like,
Get the fuck out of here. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
100%.
Yes,
When you have sex and they're like, God damn it, they're staying. What the fuck?
If I'm not disgusted by your side after I come, you have a chance. Like you have a chance to have a lifelong relationship with me.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like
That is a good indicator.
it really is. So yeah.
Like, how is this relationship going? We have sex. Oh my God, it's over. Get out of here.
Yeah, dude. I'm finally. Hey, you hang on for a second. I'm gonna make a snack. Don't go nowhere yet. Try and keep them around for a little longer. Yeah, let's hang out for a little bit. And
That also helps if they're like, after you have sex, they're like, let me go make a snack, and you're like, okay, you can stay.
Oh yeah,
You're making a sandwich. Hell yeah.
Oh, you know, one of my favorites. When girl I'm dating now, she started folding my laundry unrequested.
Nice.
I was like, oh, that's my. Whatever.
That's a girl that wants to stay.
Well,
Yeah,
you know?
she's working hard to fold your lawn.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good. That's a good.
Yeah,
chick,
but
dude.
it also shows like, you know, I'm a very neat guy otherwise, but I just hate folding laundry. So like I'll leave you know a clean pile of laundry on an empty chair in my bedroom, or you know it'll be in the dryer. So I just hate doing it, and she just like took it upon herself. So I folded it. I'm like, oh, all right.
That
So
is
she's
cool.
doing the things I don't like doing. You know,
Yeah, that's
You know,
nice.
she's not a good cook. I like to cook, so I'll cook.
Okay.
Like, I'll do the dishes. I'm like, good, because I wasn't doing them. Like,
Nice.
I hate
Yeah.
doing the dishes, loading the dishwasher like a fucking like an asshole. Like,
That's good. Yeah, I feel like if a girl wants to stay, she'll like kind of do those things. And if she's one of those girls that like, you know, when you're dating or whatever, and like they'll kind of have those like little rants about like, I don't need to do any of that stuff. It's like you'll
my
never
God.
you're never gonna get locked down at
Yeah,
all.
I've said it 1,000 times, man. Being in a relationship is just doing things you don't want to do to be with someone you want to be with. I mean, that is the definition of a romantic relationship in my mind. It's like, I mean, look, we've all had sex with people and it was fun, and we don't like those people. We don't see them anymore ever again.
Sometimes you have sex with people and it's not fun.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have that.
And it's like, that sucks so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like you have sex with them and it's like, dude, this also sucks.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, like
Get outta
I
here.
left the boys for this.
Yeah.
You know, we could have been fucked up playing darts and shit. You know, instead I'm this dummy. But if you want to stick around with someone, if you want to if you do something you don't want to do just so you can hang out with the person you like, that's a great sign. You know, it's like oh, I gotta go fucking whatever. I gotta go take my dogs to the vet. You want to come? Yeah, sure. Like, what the fuck would I want to go to a vet for? But she's cool. I'll hang out. The dogs are cool. I'll hang out. I'll hang out at the vet for an hour. Like fucking shit like that. Like mundane things that you wouldn't otherwise normally want to do.
Yeah.
You deal with it. Like I remember she was asking me like, oh, I have some stuff in a girl I was dating once. She's like, I got some stuff in a storage unit. Because I was like, hey, what do you want? Let's go. Saturday afternoon, let's go get a drink. She's like, oh shit, sorry man, I'm at a storage unit. I'm trying to get rid of it and get rid of all this stuff. I was like, oh, all right, well fuck, I'll grab a bottle of whiskey. I'll come down, help you empty the place out. Why would you want to be moving shit? No one wants to do that. Like, no one wants to empty a storage unit. But you're like, oh, I'm gonna get drunk with this girl and have a good time throwing shit out. Like, that's how you know that there's like relationship potential. That's what a relationship is. Just putting up with shit that you wouldn't otherwise put up with because you love the person. That's it. That's the definition of love. Not.
And then you might also think, hey, I've never fucked in a storage unit. That might be cool.
You'd be seriously overestimating me, my friend. Storage unit? You kidding me?
She's like,
I
I'm
fucked
at this
at a
storage
Vietnam's
unit.
Veterans Memorial.
And you're like, oh, I've been there before, actually. I've been at that
I
storage
fucked in
unit.
the back of a yellow cab in New York. What are you talking about, dude?
Nice.
Yeah. What's the grossest place you've ever had sex? And not in a girl's ass. I'm talking about surrounding area.
I've never, I'm not a having sex in gross places guy.
Or random places. Because the grossest place I ever had sex was my college fraternity. That place was successful.
Beach sucks.
Yes.
Gross.
Beach is terrible.
Beach is
Sand
terrible.
and water, two things that are not good for vaginas.
Horrible.
Yeah.
That was bad. And then after at the beach with that girl at her place, that was also a gross place.
So the sex at the beach was better than sex at her apartment?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Dude, I'm always stunned at how surprisingly disgusting women's apartments can be. Single women's apartments.
Yeah, women are like way grosser than guys. For
Oh,
sure.
well, you go to any woman's bathroom and there's
damn it.
eyelashes and hair
Yeah,
everywhere.
they leave their shit everywhere.
Yeah, it's just there's all sorts of things.
Sucks. Yeah,
It almost looks like an art studio. There's like just fucking,
it is an art studio.
just putting their face on.
Yeah, it blows.
Have you ever hooked up with a girl and been so disappointed to see what she looks like in the morning? You're like, oh my god, like she looked completely different without makeup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, well, dude, one time,
I've been disappointed while I'm hooking up with her.
you start to sober up. in the middle of it.
I could do better than this. This is terrible.
You're inside of her rethinking it. Like,
Yeah. Even before, I'm like, I shouldn't do this. You know?
oh well, listen. There's a lot of things I shouldn't have done but I do it for the story.
Yeah.
You know,
But the story is like, that sucked. That's the story. That it
yeah.
sucked.
Well, no, but those are the best stories when
Yeah, you're right.
when it doesn't work out for you.
You're right. Yeah.
You know, fucking. I had a buddy who hooked up with a girl and like she's like, oh, I don't have a boyfriend. And she did. And he showed up and he got stuck in the closet and then he
Oh
got
my.
found in the closet.
It was like
This
the
happened on a
R-
road
the
trip.
R.
This happened on
Kelly
a comedy
song.
road trip. Yeah.
It's the R. Kelly album.
This happened in Florida again, Naples, Florida. You know, fucking shout out Naples, Florida. I won't burn his name. He'll tell the story next time I got him on the podcast.
Okay, after the pod, you gotta tell me.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
But sure enough, you know, we were all out. You know, we're all on the road doing the thing. Jeff, me, this guy. Remember my buddy Tyler, who's not a comic. He was just there hanging out. You know, it was like 4 girls and 4 of us. Like, all right, you know, all worked out. Next morning, buddy comes out. He's like, "Oh, dude," she's like, "Yeah, she was great, but it's like I had a sneaking suspicion she had a boyfriend the whole time. You know, the apartment looked a little weird, blah blah blah."
a bunch of guy stuff and guns
yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, photos of them together, their wedding photos. It was bizarre.
God damn it! Fuck.
But sure enough, he's like, you know, 9 o'clock in the morning, boom, boom, boom on the door. He's like, "Oh my god, it's my boyfriend." He's like, "I thought you didn't have a boyfriend." Well, it's my ex-boyfriend. We just broke up last week. He's like, "You guys aren't fucking broken up." Like, this is bullshit.
Oh my god.
So he jumped in the closet. You know, he grabbed his clothes, jumped in the closet, getting dressed in the closet, and he hears them arguing. And then finally, the guy storms in the room and opens the door. He's like, and he just goes, "Look, I didn't know. I'm just gonna. She lied to me too, man. I'm gonna walk out of here. You guys take care of this." And he fucking. And then, thankfully, the guy didn't, you know, assault him.
Holy fuck.
But yeah,
dude.
he was held up in a closet for like 40 minutes while they were arguing.
Oh my god, dude.
He's in like, what am I gonna do? This guy gonna fucking, you know,
sucks,
kill me in here. I was like, he's like, we're in Florida. I don't know if he has a fucking gun. Like, you know.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
I think it's a mistake hiding. I think you say, "Sorry, girl, you fucked up. I'm not gonna hide and then get caught by this guy."
yeah,
and
no,
feel like
I agree with you
I
on
was
that.
trying to fuck him
I agree
over or
with you
do
on that.
something. I'm just
I
like,
agree with you on that. But
nope. I respect this dude enough to not get punched in the face by
that's
a
the right
stranger,
move. That's the right
or
move.
give him enough time to arm himself before he comes to this closet.
Yeah. The problem with that is I can't rely on anybody else to think rationally in that situation. Meaning that, like,
Yeah.
like let's you know, if
you don't know what the situation actually
if
is.
your girlfriend cheats,
So
on
get out that
you,
door before they argue for 40 minutes and get heated.
Yeah.
I'm out.
If
Bye.
your girlfriend cheats on you, you
wanna-
should be more mad at her than the other guy.
Yeah, but those guys aren't like that.
But the guy may or may not have known. He might have known. He might not have known. But the person in the relationship has a responsibility, right? So so I have the responsibility to be faithful to anyone I'm dating in an exclusive relationship. My girlfriends who I'm in an exclusive relationship with have a responsibility to me to be faithful.
Yeah.
The other person that they fuck around with did not make any commitment to me, right?
That's just a tough sell for irrational people.
That's what I'm saying. People aren't rational enough to think that.
Yeah.
Like
Especially in those moments.
I would
where
never beat
they're-
up a guy who slept with, you know, a girl I was dating. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
I get it, man. She's good looking. That, you know, I don't know what she told you. If you knew and did it anyway, either way, it was on her to tell you to fuck off because she told me she was with me. You know, like she's the one who's the liar. You know, like she's the one who broke the trust.
Yeah, but a lot of times it never goes that way.
I know, but that's how I think, and especially that's the thing when people get emotional. That's why he was so nervous. He's like, I could try to rationalize with this guy. He's like, but he just might be fucking angry, and he can't smack his girlfriend, so he's gonna smack me.
Yeah,
you know, because you can't hit women. You know?
Yeah,
even when they deserve it.
Yeah, yeah, that does. That is
and I'm
crazy.
laughing, but I mean, listen, people deserve to get hit. You know, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't hit anybody for any reason. Yeah, I think, you know, like unless you're getting physically assaulted to defend yourself, you shouldn't hit anybody. But believe me, there's a lot of reasons that people deserve to get punched in the face. You know, you don't go as soon as the light turns green, punched in the face. right? Right. Your kid's crying on the airplane. Punch the parent, then punch the kid. You're like, I wish I could do all that.
Yeah.
You know, like there's lots of reasons to hit people, but none of them are good reasons.
Speakerphone in public.
Yes, beat that person up.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good
Right.
one.
There's a lot of reasons you should be hitting people, but you don't do it because it's not right. You know. You know, just like I should, you know, I want more money. Doesn't mean I can go out and steal it. You know, like there's a right way and a wrong way. Like, you know, I would like to punch a lot of people for a lot of reasons. I just can't. You know, it's not the right thing to do. But my head says, "I'll fucking smack the shit out of them."
Yeah.
That's why vengeance is so good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big vengeance fan. Let me ask you the question: what do you think is a better motivator, love or revenge?
Okay, it depends on what kind of. This is like a Star Wars Jedi dark side.
This is my Yoda question.
Yeah, this is kind of like a what side of the Force are you on kind of thing, you know? Obviously, love is on the non-dark side.
Yeah.
You know, and then depends on if you're in the dark side, then that would be the vengeance thing, probably.
Yeah. Well, I think the question. The key part of the question is what's a better motivator, right? Love is a better reason to be motivated.
Sure.
But what motivates people more?
I feel like it's
revenge.
harder. Yeah,
revenge gets people off their their ass.
I think dark side's easier.
Well,
it's an easier path.
Yeah, you know, you take for granted the ones you love.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like you hurt the ones you love the most because
but also
you love them.
like you're more reacting to the first emotion.
Yes.
That you feel like.
Yes.
Okay, that pissed me off. So fuck that. I'm mad. Now that you can use that as a motivator.
Yeah.
Right. If you're using like the other side of it, you might have to go through that, feel it, be like, fuck that. That sucks.
Yeah.
Let it go and then be able to get through it, which that's hard.
It's hard, but that's why with the people that do that, we hold up as heroes. You know, I mean, like Martin Luther King Jr., right? He preached, you know, nonviolent resistance and equality for everybody, and he died for it. It's like, whoa, Jesus, the best example, right? Love everybody, and they fucking nailed him to a cross for that message, right? So like, they're revered.
Yeah.
But in terms of getting your average person off their fat ass to do something, revenge works great. I mean, like, there's nothing.
There's not enough motivational gurus focusing on revenge.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to be like the.
Like, I'm not seeing
Evil
like
Tony
a
Robbins.
I want
this whole
Gary
episode
V.
is basically the dark side.
Yeah, we gotta get a Gary V guy.
Yeah.
That's like, hey, you see that guy making it? Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I'm talking about killing people, showing up at my house unannounced. Yeah. You know, for getting vengeance. I'm almost like whatever the opposite is going on in social media now of like all these like, you know, grind hard fucking influencers. You know, work hard and success.
Oh, you want to do better than another
guy? Don't try hard.
Get
Get even with people.
Yeah.
Hate on motherfuckers. You know, all
yeah.
that.
What would those guys say? They'd be like, because their whole thing is like, oh, you wanna start a business, like grind hard, do whatever, like bust your ass. How about you see a guy making it? Fuck that guy's shit.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck his
Beat
shit
him up and steal from him.
SWAT him, dude. SWAT that guy.
Is he stronger than you?
Yeah.
Does he have a gun?
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you're stronger, you get a gun.
Does he have a girlfriend? Fuck his girlfriend.
Yeah, fuck his girlfriend.
Hide in his closet.
Hide in his closet.
That's crazy.
No, man. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, it's almost like I feel like human beings all know in our heads. Like, you want to like, you know, be higher minded and like elevate. Like, all right, I'm, you know, but more equanimity and all this. But then we all of us, and our first initial instinct is, you know, I want to fuck her. I want to take that guy's money. I want what I want. You know?
Yeah, being higher minded is good, but it also isn't as fun sometimes.
It's not as fulfilling in the immediate moment.
Well, no, it is more fulfilling, but it's like it's
but
harder
in the long
and it
run,
sucks.
you don't build a legacy.
It's not an immediate.
Yeah, you don't build a legacy on being petty. You know, you build a legacy on being above everyone else's petty bullshit.
Though maybe
Gandhi, right? Gandhi is like, I don't need any of this. Like everyone's like, oh, Gandhi, you know, fucking, you know, there's a.
He was probably petty about some shit though.
Oh, we all are. We're human.
Yeah.
The difference is,
I wonder what his he probably had some real petty.
I know,
bullshit.
but he didn't act on it, or at least not as much as the rest of us. You know, that's why we're like, wow, could you believe he didn't do what we all would have done in that situation? You know, like he never got even. You know,
what was Gandhi's bullshit? Like he was just like a monk guy.
He's a pacifist.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like Eastern philosophy, pacifism. You know,
so like just don't do anything.
Yeah, so like Buddhists were famous for setting themselves on fire in protest. Instead of like going out and bombing
Okay,
their enemies,
here's another
they
thing.
set themselves on fire.
Yeah, that they say that's the ultimate form of protest.
Who says that? That's a
Like
dumb.
the people that are in power say that.
Yeah,
it's like,
'cause they want you.
Oh, you really want to send a message? Set
Kill
yourself on
yourself.
fire. It's like there's been like 5 guys set themselves on fire. Can you name any of them? Yeah. I don't know any of their names. And I also don't even know what they did. It's just like a fucking retarded guy set himself on fire outside of the thing. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
And it's like it's never like they make a big thing. They go to a public place. They go, hey, everybody, I'm doing it. And then they start doing it. And then they start screaming for 4 minutes while they do it. And then it's...
Didn't some guy in the States do that a couple years
Yeah,
ago?
there's been like...
What? He was like protesting. Was it political that he was protesting?
It's all... Yeah, 100%. It's always political. It's not like someone's going out there and being like, hey, no baggage fees at the airlines. Like lighting themselves. Which somebody should do that, by the way. I would, but, you know...
I'm tired of taking off my shoes at the TSA and I just light myself on fire at the scanner.
That would be cool.
If somebody light themselves on fire and like as they're doing the dynasty sign, they just pour gasoline and put a match in their head and do the thing.
And then they go through the bag thing, and then
The bag
blow it
scatter.
up. Yeah.
So it was U.S. Air Force Airman Aaron Bushnell lit himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy just late last year.
And that was about the Palestine.
Yeah.
Was he in support or against Israel?
He was against
Israel.
Israel. Yeah.
Well, that worked out for him.
Yeah.
25 years old.
Fucking dummy.
Yeah, that is really stupid.
Like I said, I don't feel bad for the guy. He's
Like
fucking,
it's like your fight against whatever you're fighting against ends right there.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, how is
Yeah.
it? I don't understand how it's the ultimate.
You know what was brave? Nelson Mandela being in prison for 30 years and then finally getting out and becoming president of South Africa. Like he didn't kill himself in protest. He's like, no, I'm gonna wait. You know, like
That's crazy,
You
dude.
motherfuckers got to kill me if you want me dead.
What
Since
a weird.
2009, 159 people in Tibet have lit themselves on fire to protest the Chinese.
Yeah, no wonder they haven't won that war.
Yeah, they don't have the numbers. How many Chinese people are setting themselves on fire against Tibet? Like 0. They're all alive, beating the shit out of Tibet. It's fucking retarded to set
It
yourself
is.
on fire. How
is.
is it? How are we having to discuss that?
All right, it is.
Don't. If you have a cause, do not set yourself on fire about it.
And say what you want. Say what you want about
The other side's like lighting you on fire anyway.
Exactly,
So
yeah,
if you
yeah.
just sit there and wait, you're
Well,
gonna catch on
no, they
fire
would have
anyway.
done better. They would have shot you and you just dropped
Yeah.
dead. Like they would have given you a nicer death if you actually.
It doesn't help your message to set yourself on fire because then they'll be like, these retards over here are setting themselves
Yeah.
on fire.
Yeah.
Another
And
guy
they-
recently did it on Earth Day in Colorado in front of the U.S. Embassy
Great.
to protest climate change.
Great. He's making more carbon emissions
What
by
a
lighting himself on fire
fucking
on Earth Day.
dumbass,
Yeah, he's
dude.
literally putting more carbon in the atmosphere by burning himself.
Don't light your trash on fire. Blows himself up. What a dumbass, dude.
Stop burning fossil fuels as I burn myself.
Yeah. Bro, you're a fossil fuel now. What a dumbass. Everyone that
Somebody should
everyone
have. Somebody should have put him in a like. So turn me into gas and run me in your car instead. Like,
a fucking idiot, dude. It's so stupid.
is there?
I never got like we've talked about it on Woke Boys a bunch of times, like because every time somebody does it, we're like, what was their
The fuck
point?
is the point of
We it's like, there's one article everybody talks about for 1 week. It's literally more people are talking about LeBron James like eating shit in the playoffs than they are about
Yeah.
the guy that set himself on fire.
Yeah.
It's like suicide plus ego somehow.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like you wanna be
dying
an
quietly and
influencer.
ashamed. It's like an influencer death.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you want to. It's like, damn, look, the Instagram views are gonna go up.
Yeah. Exactly. I think the only protests that really work anymore are ones that have an economic impact.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, fucking what's his name? Elon Musk left Doge pretty quick when
Also-
when his stock was down 45%. Now it's back up 30, and he's like, all right, I'll stay here where I belong. Like, nothing that anybody said stopped him from doing whatever he wanted to do, and his stock fucking fell 50%. And he lost $100 billion in value. He's like, all right, never mind, I quit. Like I'm gonna go back to Tesla.
Yeah.
Like that's what works.
Yeah.
Money
Homie killing
talks
that
and
CEO
bullshit.
worked pretty well too.
Wait, what'd you say?
Is that old buddy killing that CEO worked pretty well too?
Yeah, for a quick second, but they're back. I mean, they're back doing what they always do. You know, I mean, like that one worked.
One guy is not back doing what he always does.
That's true. That's true. But no, but that's the thing. That's the one case you're right though, Mike. Like a great example, like after the 2008 financial crisis, you know, fucking all this, they changed all the rules on Wall Street and all this shit. Only one guy went to jail, and it was a mid-level banker for like Deutsche Bank or something like that. If they had hung the CEO of Lehman Brothers, I can bet you no other bank would ever commit that kind of fucking malfeasance
Or
again.
even if 10 people who are thinking about killing themselves over this or burning themselves over this, like, took out maybe the top 10 CEOs, you tell me everyone's
that
not
would make a
shitting in
difference.
their pants now?
Yeah,
Like,
that would make a difference.
10 brutally violent acts might do way more than 100 peaceful acts. And that's
Get this. This is about a decade ago. There was some Chinese so there was a Gerber food tainting, baby food, Gerber baby food. Some of their containers of like applesauce, whatever, got tainted, and like half dozen kids in America, a dozen babies in America died from this tainted food. And Gerber was having the food made and packaged in China, and they found out that the manufacturer that they were contracted with was cutting corners, and and letting toxins get into the food because it was cheaper for them. They were saving money. China rounded up 4 of their executives and fucking executed them.
Wow.
For corporate malfeasance and for the murders of people over here. And you can rest assured, baby food is not tainted in China anymore. Like, listen,
Wow.
because the Chinese government, that's a little extreme, but somebody has to go to jail over that. Like, somebody has to do serious. If corporate CEOs did serious time for breaking real laws, they wouldn't commit the crimes they commit. Bernie Madoff wouldn't have, or
when you ruin entire towns with like cancerous material and
the
shit.
guys at Purdue Pharma with OxyContin that started this whole opioid epidemic. If those guys were doing 30 years, no other fucking drug company would try and pull this fucking stunt again.
There was like they'll pick one guy and they'll be like, got him.
You got to make an example.
Like when they did with the refs in the NBA.
Oh yeah,
They're like, we got the one guy that was fixing games. It's like there's like 3 refs a game. So it's like they have to be like kind of.
Also, the amount of money on the line was
The
crazy.
whistle blows. You're like, hey, what the fuck was that? Like they all have to be in on it to a degree.
Meanwhile, now every major sports league is in bed with a gambling company.
That's why Pete Rose is back in.
Pete Rose is back in baseball. You heard about this, right?
Yeah.
They allowed him back in baseball. Yeah,
But isn't he
only,
dead?
only 5.
But wait, he died.
Yeah, only 5 years after the MLB signed a contract with fucking
DraftKings or whatever.
DraftKings and BetMGM. I was like, wait, so now fucking Bud Selig,
There was like
whoever, Joel Silver, who's the commissioner?
Selig, yeah.
Selig.
Silver's NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said, it should only last as long as his life, so he served his time. It's like, now that he's dead and you can capitalize off it, take that money.
Yeah. Now we want to sell more Pete Rose jerseys now that he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was like a controversy with Ohtani gambling.
Oh, yeah. Well, apparently that was his negotiator and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
that's what they're saying.
Oh, yeah, I think it was him.
Of course.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, listen, they pay these guys so much money now that they actually can't be bought. Years ago, I think it was a problem, right? Because when gambling was illegal, organized crime controlled gambling, it was $100 to $200 billion a year business. Mm-hmm. And when NBA players, at one point, Magic Johnson had like the biggest contract in the NBA. It was 10 years, $1 million.
Yeah.
And that's,
Well, it's also inflation, so it's like,
yeah, but
that's a lot of money.
But even LeBron's contract from his rookie year to this year is up 20-fold. Like, so he was already the highest paid rookie when he came in.
What's
They're making $80 million a year now.
okay.
Dude, 5 years ago, quarterbacks were making 15 to 20 million a year. Now they're making 50 million a year. In literally 5 years, they doubled their money. Their money is so big now that it's hard to bribe. It's hard for any
Professional
gambler.
athletes used to have jobs in the offseason.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
imagine?
Yeah, but that's why
Dude, that's
refs. That's why it's
crazy.
easy to bribe the refs. And unlike the NFL, where there's 12 refs on the field, in the NBA there are 3, and they're all and we all know this. Every NBA game, any foul is a judgment call.
Yeah.
It's like offsides is offsides, right? Too many men on the field, too many men on the field in the NFL. In the NBA, whether or not that's a foul is just up to the ref with the whistle.
There's some sketchy shit with the NFL's calls too. Just like with like interference calls and shit like that. Like,
I think that's coming down from the league office though. They like overtime games. They want more.
But I feel like you can. Those are
They don't like
those are judgment calls too. Like
but I think that's the league because they don't want blowouts.
No.
How many games have you seen won by 3 touchdowns in the NFL in the last 10
the
years?
playoffs-
Maybe 4.
Yeah.
They keep a close game.
In the playoffs the other night, it was
It's
like
like
45 seconds left. There was no way Golden State was coming back. and you see Draymond say something to the other team like 5.5, 5.5. They're talking about the spread.
Oh, yeah.
And they're up 8. And so if they score a 2, it won't cover the spread. Golden State could have made a layup after missing a 3. They kick it back out to make the meaningless 3 just to cover the spread before it ends. And everyone's just like, what just happened?
I saw that at Cleveland Browns game.
Yeah,
once.
what is that? Like, what's the benefit of that?
So the way it works is, Jeff, in gambling is you could either pick a winner or a loser in the game, and there are odds on the winning on the underdog winning versus the favorite.
Yeah.
Or you bet even money, meaning you bet $100, you win $100. But there's a point spread. So like in the NFL, like let's say the Chiefs are playing the Lions, and the Lions are favored by 7, and I bet on the Lions with the spread. That means the Lions have to win by 7 points or more for me. If I bet 100,
if the Lions win by 3 points, you still lose.
I lose. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Golden State technically won from the gambling perspective.
But what does that do?
But it just shows that they were cognizant of it. So there's players out there with playing the game with the spread in mind.
Are they incentivized to? So is that what that's saying?
No, they're not.
That they're incentivized.
They're worried that some.
Because why do the players want to beat the spread?
They don't care. They're not supposed to care. That's the thing.
I know, but I'm saying so. If that guy's like saying like, "Oh, we got to beat the 5-point spread," what is that?
That means that he or someone he knows bet on the game and has to keep the points at a certain level.
But maybe not, but potentially. And the fact that you see them talking about it with 30 seconds left in the game, and both teams are back and forth talking about the spread, and then you see in their actions that they are clearly not making the 2-pointer because that wouldn't cover it, kicking it back out and shooting the 3. That's just changing what the idea of the game should be if the players are now cognizant of gambling.
So let me give you an example, Jeff. So,
but does that indicate that there could be the players are
in on it? It could be, or it just means they're aware of it. It doesn't
like. Do you think that there might be some front office NBA shit where they're like, "Hey, if you beat the spread, there's like a bonus for you"?
No,
I bet
they can't do that
because like if
they can't put bounties on people.
Yeah, but I'm saying
bet
like,
it literally means nothing other than it's a bad look because it's clearly them talking about gambling.
Let me give you an example, Jeff.
Closely with the sport.
Let me give you a perfect example from my own life.
Like they're fixing games.
Yeah.
Right, so it affects the integrity of the game.
Yeah, it shows that they could. It shows how easily that they could.
How easy you could influence them to behave differently on the field.
Yeah,
right. Because you think they're professional athletes are going to try and perform at their highest level at all times. But sometimes they're loafing it.
There's like cheating in everything. Like there's no
tennis,
like
tennis went through a whole scandal because
it
was like below the top 10 ranked guys were tanking matches to make money.
I was outside like the top 100 usually.
That's what I'm saying,
dude, when I was playing, I was trying to play pro tennis. There was this I don't know. At one point, they started adding this like anti-gambling stuff into. So they made us watch some video. And
that's gonna stop you. That just made you aware. It was
kind of funny.
It just made you aware of gambling. Wait, I can make money.
They literally like.
I didn't know someone would pay me to lose.
They hired tennis actors and like they filmed like a fucking sketch of like a. Some guy in a locker room. So they literally make you watch this to like. They're like, oh, you want to play pro tennis? Okay, you got to pay your like dues or whatever to like sign up for tour events, and then watch this video, and then say that you saw it and stuff, and it's like some guys in a locker room. He's like, "Damn, tough loss," and then there's some like shiesty guy in there. He's like wearing a suit, and he's like, "Hey man, maybe you could like I don't know like lose on purpose and like make more money," and then the guy's like, "What? How could I lose and make money?" Well, actually, gambling, if I fix the sport, like it's like such a
would never happen.
Happen that way.
Yeah. No, I'll give you an example in my own personal life. So like, there was a period of time where I was betting heavily on pro and college football. My roommate was into it. I got into it, and I was working on Wall Street. I had money, so I was like, let's do a little gambling on the weekend. And this is during like the 2007 season when the Patriots went 19-0, and were just blowing teams out.
Yeah, that was the 19-1 season, right?
Yeah, the 19-1.
What a fucking game that was! Crazy.
I know. But that season, people were almost annoyed with Bill Belichick because he was aware of the spread and kept all of his starters on the field and would blow it out. So Vegas actually lost a lot of money. People betting against because they would set 21-point spreads against the Patriots.
People hated him.
Yeah,
for that.
but a 21-point spread in the NFL
That is
unheard of.
That
and
is
Bill Belichick
funny
would
to
keep
like
Tom Brady in the fourth quarter up 35-0, throwing to just blow out the spread. Like
that rules for him to be that big of a dick.
Yeah,
it's like 80-2, and he's
he beat one team 59-3. The
interview,
he beat the Tennessee Titans 59-3.
He's like a big dickhead in the interview too.
Yeah, Tom Brady threw a 60-yard touchdown pass in the fourth quarter, and they were already up like fucking 42-0.
Welker and Edelman aren't going to be able to use spoons in a couple years.
Yeah, because
of all the third downs they converted, meaninglessly getting decapitated.
Yeah. But that was cool, him running up the score. But now he's like, it's sad what he's become, dude. He's getting dominated by this chick that he's dating.
I don't. People say that. I don't know that that's the case though.
But she's like he'll go on a thing and they'll be like talking about football, and then she's like chiming in. Like,
but I saw that interview, and the weird part about it is why was the camera pointed at her? Why was there a second camera off, picking her up on the side?
You gotta. I don't know.
Like I feel like they knew. I feel like CBS was trying to set that up. But also, Bill Belichick's no dummy. This is the same guy who knew what the spread was and blew it out. It was like, oh, she's all of a sudden got $8 million worth of real estate. It's like, yeah, that's a pittance to him. Like, he's 74, and she's 26. I'm sure he's like, oh, for 1/10 of my money, I can fuck a 25-year-old. Yeah, all right, here. And he doesn't like doing interviews anyway.
Crazy.
It's like he likes doing interviews. I'm sure he didn't want to answer that question.
Everybody's demonizing him for being this piece of shit, but it's like
she's the piece of shit.
Yeah, she also sucks.
Yeah.
Like, why is there no accountability for this whore?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Is she in love with the guy? Really?
Well,
get out of here.
It's not like he's fucking giving her the the old Bill Cosby in drug. Like, she's fully aware of who she's dating. She's conscious. You know, like she's obviously agreeing to the sex. She was talking for him in the interview. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's not like he's
treating her like Anna Nicole Smith.
He's not coercing her. If anything, she is robbing him. Like
people keep saying there's like this power dynamic that he holds being a rich man.
Yeah, well, she's a pussy.
He's also an old fat loser. Aside from that, so she holds all the power, being sexually attractive.
Yes, sexually she does.
So it's like there's two powers at play here. And we're only talking about one.
It's the oldest trade in the book, money for sex, guys. I mean, that's why the earliest profession of all time was prostitution. This is. I mean, dude, they've trained monkeys.
And Nicole Smith had a reality show. This is what we like.
Yeah. They've trained monkeys, like Reese's monkeys, like how money works. And within a fucking week, they were trading money for sex with females. Like, it's just like the oldest trade in the book. Yeah. He's like, I'm 75. You know, I'm divorced. Fucking this hot 26-year-old wants to suck my cock. She wants $8 million out of my fucking $200 million. Fine. Yeah. Like, here, have your 4 condos in Dorchester, Massachusetts, while you suck my wrinkled balls. Like, you know, that's really what the trade was.
There's like a contract. Yeah. Okay, you get 2 condos.
Yeah. Every time you
I get 2 balls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, every time
2 wrinkled balls.
Yeah, every time you gargle my balls, I give you a deposit on a new rental unit.
That's insane.
That's got to be what it is.
Yeah, so he's going down, and fucking Unk, dude.
Unk? Who's Unk?
Shannon Sharp.
Oh, who calls him Unk?
Black people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fucking call him Unk. He looks like fucking Joe Camel. He's a stuttering prick. Skip.
You don't like him?
I thought Club Shay Shay's the fucking gayest name for a podcast ever. Fuck Shannon Sharp.
Dude, I
like him as a player. I think he's a terrible fucking sports host and commentator. And his podcast, I mean, like, it
was after he had Cat Williams on.
Yeah, maybe the black community gets it more than I do, but it does. His interviews feel so disjointed. Like, Cat Williams was just
Cat Williams was going off, and then he was just sitting there like, oh, damn, Cat.
Yeah, exactly. Skip. Yeah.
But, I mean, that's what you do when you have Cat Williams on. You just shut up and let him
rip. Yeah.
Let him cook, dude.
Let him rip. But, I mean, it must be serious if he had to step away, you know.
Well, yeah, he got kicked off of everything.
And
then he's still, but it's like,
but his own fucking podcast. I mean, like,
yeah,
you know, like it's serious when your own show goes away.
You saw that, like, he got, what was it? It was like, so he got in trouble, and then he was like, they released a 30-second video. That video is longer than 30 seconds. Like, that was his defense. He's like, there's longer video. It wasn't just 30 seconds.
There's more to it than that.
I was really pounding it for 10 minutes or something like that.
Oh, yeah, the audio thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was crazy. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
But that could be true, too. I mean, nobody knows for sure except the two people in the room. But, I mean, there is that, too. I mean, like, he's making more money now than he ever made in the NFL.
Yeah, but
right?
because he has all this.
He said we had consensual aggressive sex. Trust me, I know you know this too. A lot of women like that shit. If you're a girl and you're into that shit, fucking quit it, ladies. You psychos. That shit's insane. Or
and
just
also, I'm not doing it.
Just take responsibility for it.
They're like, oh, I like when you do. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Fucking.
It used to be called mock rape. Now it's called consensual non-consent.
Yeah, dude, that's.
Which is a mouthful.
Yeah,
consensual non-consent.
I don't consent to that.
Yeah,
if a girl's into that,
yeah,
no
punch
thanks,
me.
Dude.
Yeah, how am I going to explain your black eye to the cops?
Says that.
Yeah, no way, dude.
That's when you pull out your phone and say, "Say it on video."
Yeah, but then that's what they do. They
want you to punch me in the face.
Yeah, and then they go, okay, now let's film us doing it, and then they go, okay, I'm going to release a video. Cut the little safe part of like I agree.
And then it becomes revenge porn if you bring it up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, that's why I just cut girls' tongues off so they can't talk.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
All filmed sex is them saying I consent and enjoy this fully. Yeah. And they're holding up like the document.
Yeah, today's newspaper, so like it was.
Well, yeah, they're holding that up, but they're also holding up the
NDA.
That and the I consent and agree and am for this.
Yeah.
Like the iTunes.
Have you ever dated a girl that was into the rough stuff?
No.
No?
Well, maybe, but
as soon as I got into it, you're like, it's not my thing.
I don't like that stuff.
Yeah, you just like it regular, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Missionary in a bed.
I mean, it doesn't have to be missionary. We can mix it up.
I mean, I can be on my back.
Yeah.
Everything's better when you're lying on your
there's
back.
all kinds of stuff you can do. You don't have to do this crazy.
You don't have to choke your girlfriend
I don't
to
have
death.
to like put you in a set from like the Saw movie.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have to do that.
This is where the 50 Shades of Grey thing really fucked up the universe for women. It's like, oh, I like that. It's like, but then you find guys that do that, and you're like, oh, I don't like it. I'm like, well, then what do you want? You like the idea of it? Like,
it's weird.
It's fucking bizarre. But speaking of sex scandals, and we'll dovetail this into the news. So the big news this week is the Diddy trial has started. Mm-hmm. Have you heard anything about it so far?
No, actually, I don't know what's going on with it.
Because there's a tidbit that came through. So jury selection was last week, and Cassie Ventura, his ex-girlfriend, the girl who he beat up and dragged through that hotel on video, was on the stand. She's actually finishes up examination today, and she's getting cross-examined tomorrow by defense. But yesterday she revealed this. The Donald Trump golf club shooter. So remember this guy? There was a guy a couple years ago who shot
hid in
Trump in the bushes and shot at Trump.
Yeah.
The Trump golf club shooter who claimed he was a Diddy sex slave was hired by the music mogul P. Diddy, according to Cassie in her testimony. A former porn star who engaged in a shootout with cops after storming the lobby of the Trump National Golf Club was identified Wednesday as someone Sean Diddy Combs allegedly hired for sexual encounters multiple times in Miami. Jonathan Odie was busted in 2018 after he was caught on camera carrying an American flag and raving about President Trump shooting into his lobby.
Wait, so he was hired by Diddy to
have sex with people in his freak-offs. Yeah, listen to this. So he said. So Odie claims he was that Diddy paid him to keep him as a sex slave and use him to have sex with women in videos that Diddy chose at his freak-offs, like these half-passed women.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he said Odie was one of 13 male escorts Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura identified in Manhattan federal court on Wednesday as sex workers for hire for Diddy's freak-offs, bringing the total number of the people he hired to have sex at these freak-offs with people unconsensually were 16. So
wait, who was having unconsensual?
So Diddy hired 13 men and 3 women, at least, according to Cassie, to fuck guests at his freak-offs without their consent when they were drugged up. So Diddy hired men to fuck other people, men and women. So
So it's like a fuck hitman kind of situation.
Yeah, he basically hired somebody else to do the fucking.
What?
Right?
What's the?
Isn't that the weirdest
Why would
part
they-
about? That's the strangest part. I don't listen. I call me crazy, but I like it when you like sex with me. That's my kink. You know, what I like is that she's into me. You know, like that's my favorite thing. That's what turns me on the most is that she agrees to have
So
sex.
weird.
You know, like it's like whoa, I convinced her she wants this. You know, like great. You know, that's the hot part to me.
Yeah.
So I don't get any sort of sexual abuse at all in that respect. But then you have a guy like fucking Bill Cosby. It's like, all right, this guy's a creep because he's already a megastar.
Which also he got off.
Oh yeah, no,
fully,
yeah.
by the way.
But I bet half the women he drugged and had sex with, if he said, "Hey, do you want to hook up?" They'd be like, "Okay," because
Yeah.
he's fucking Bill Cosby. You know,
Yeah.
Like 30 years ago when he was mega famous.
Yeah.
You know, like he wanted to drug
They
them.
would have just had sex with him.
But at
and it
least
would've been
he's
fine.
drugging them and he's having sex with them. Diddy took it a step further. He said, "I don't even want to fuck you. I want to drug you and pay somebody else to fuck you while I watch."
So weird.
Yeah, so his kink was getting cucked out.
Wow.
And it wasn't him raping these women. It was him paying other sex slaves to rape these women and men at his behest.
Damn.
How
wild.
fucking
That's crazy.
crazy is that?
That is crazy. So what's going on with that? Like what's going to happen?
So they're in testimony now. The trial's probably going to take, it said 4 to 6 weeks. He's facing life.
Life in
Prison.
For the
Racketeering and sex trafficking. So
racketeer.
Yeah,
what's
so,
racketeering?
So the way and this is the funny thing. So the racketeering is a law. The RICO Act is a law that they instituted in I think 80 or 81 that was meant to combat organized crime, the mafia. Because the way it works in the mafia is when you're the boss, you don't commit any crimes. You tell other people to commit crimes.
Okay.
But before they passed this RICO law, the Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Act, before they passed this law,
So racketeering is like I'm paying you to do crimes.
yeah, or you're the leader.
involved in-
I'm the leader of a criminal organization. So basically, if you're the boss,
Yeah.
and you tell someone else to commit a crime, they could charge you with that crime. Before this law, they couldn't do that. Only like so like if I was a crime boss and I had a gang of people and I say, "Hey, go murder this guy," they could charge everyone who murdered that guy for murder, but they couldn't charge me for murder for ordering.
Because
it.
you didn't do it.
Yeah, because I didn't do it.
I see.
It's defined by a pattern of criminal activity committed by an enterprise to gain money or property.
Yeah.
It's not a single crime, but rather a series of
pattern of
illegal
crimes.
acts often disguised as legitimate business deals that are coordinated and repeated for profit.
How can they get you as like if you order a hit on somebody, would they be like, "Oh, your LLC is
Murder LLC.
yeah," but like what is
Rappers do be naming their companies Murder
Yeah,
Inc.
Murder Inc. Yeah.
Murder.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to do that anymore.
Yeah, probably-
It's rape.
Yeah, probably don't do that. Okay.
No, but that's the thing. So because he committed these sexual acts, but repeatedly did it, and he hired these 13 people.
Yeah.
He had security who would watch his doors. He would have them sign NDAs, and because he went state to state, they said his movement from state to state, his hiring of multiple people, his security issuances, and his legal representatives making these people sign NDAs are all a pattern of criminal behavior to cover up the fact that he was
what the
going from
fuck,
city to
man?
city, hiring people to rape other people for his behest.
Yeah, the music business has really got some wild
Right?
shit going on. Dude, like the guy from the Fugees, Praz,
Well, what happened to him?
he got busted for some sort of spy shit or something. If you look up Praz,
He's a Haitian. What are they spying on us?
dude, I don't know. That was really weird when I
Yeah.
saw that. He
But-
got
yeah.
in trouble for something.
But I'm surprised it took this long to get to the movie because I always thought, I mean, the Me Too thing came for the movie industry first with Harvey Weinstein and TV and acting.
Yeah.
But I always thought music was way worse.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause-
hey, comedy still clean, baby.
I mean, the
Well,
worst.
it's actually Bill Cosby, so never mind.
Well, he's probably the worst. But the second worst is fucking who? Louis C.K. and he just jerked off. He embarrassed himself by jerking off in front of 2 girls. I mean, that's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Fuck the legal implications of that. How could you imagine his daughters know that? Hey, you know what Dad likes to jerk off in front of girls who don't want to have sex with him.
Yeah.
How shameful.
Praz was found guilty in a scheme to help China influence U.S. American government.
Dude,
Wow.
Yeah, like what the guy
What?
from the Fugees, dude.
Witness tampering and acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government. He faces up to 20 years in prison.
Does he get sentenced yet?
No sentencing date was set yet.
Okay.
He was
that's
found
new.
was found guilty.
Dude, so like he's like a Chinese spy.
I know.
The guy from the Fugees is a Chinese spy.
It's such weird crimes to me too, because I feel like if I were in that position of like wealth and fame, all I would try to do is like protect my wealth and fame.
Yeah, but I feel like it's kind of like you don't. It's like hidden. Like you get a gig. You get a gig to go perform on a thing, and then it's not what you think it is.
Yeah,
and then it's like
Chinese government pays them X, Y, or Z.
Yeah. So it's like some weird shit or something.
But I'm talking about this Diddy thing. Like I feel like if I were a celebrity of his stature, if I were indicted for committing crimes, it would easily be tax evasion. I'd be like Wesley Snipes. I just wouldn't pay as much as I should. You know what I mean?
That was funny when he was like, "Oh, you don't have to pay taxes."
Yeah, and they gave him 6 years.
Who are those guys? Who are those guys? They're like, yeah, you know that thing that everybody does. You don't have to do that.
Yeah,
you do, buddy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he also works in Hollywood. You tell him there's not one Geo accountant in this town who would tell him, no, you got to pay those.
Like, who is like, did he talk to TurboTax and he's like, fuck that?
He asked ChatGPT, do I have to pay taxes if I'm Wesley Snipes? No,
He saw those like one of those sovereign citizen guys.
Oh yeah.
He saw one of those. Yeah. He's one of those.
Claiming sovereignty from the United States on my personal property.
He gets pulled over by the cops and he like rolls his window down like that much. And they're like, "Tell me your name." He's like, "Fuck you."
Fuck you.
Like, those guys are crazy. Then they end up getting tased for like a seatbelt.
He got tased?
No, I'm just saying like those guys that like a cop's like, "Hey, like you're kind of going like a little fast." It's like a warning situation.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, "Yo, fuck you. I don't have to tell you anything." And then they end up getting tased because it's like some crazy.
Yeah, I mean you're inviting trouble with that. What you want to do is end the interaction with the cop as fast as possible.
Yeah,
because
why are they like? I don't belong to this system.
Yeah, and this is the key that people don't seem to understand. Like, they have a gun and you usually don't. They have a badge and a right to use it.
Also, if you have a gun,
that's a problem.
You're probably gonna get shot
to
and
death.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah. But also, the cop can't acquit you of the crime. What you want to do is, if you're in trouble with the law, is get in front of a judge as fast as possible.
Yeah.
You do not. You want to end talking to the cop as soon as possible and talk to the judge as fast as possible. Yeah. That's how you get out of trouble. The judge gets you out of trouble. The cop can only get you into trouble.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, fucking cops. You want the interaction to be short, sweet, and quick.
Okay.
In and out. You don't want to fucking drag it out.
Really?
Dude, I saw people fucking trying to explain themselves to a cop, and I'm like, don't, because that's going to be used against you in the court. Like, just yes sir, no sir. Am I being detained, sir? Yes, I am. Okay, then I want a lawyer. Tell me when I can have my phone call. Like, the interaction, the back and forth with a cop. You do not want to back and forth with a cop.
No.
You want to say as little words as humanly possible to a cop in your lifetime.
Yeah.
Unless they're off duty. Like a friend of yours, but like a uniform cop, you do not want to. The less words you say, your life is going to be infinitely better. The less words you say to police. Than the more words. Like. Now, a judge, you can go explain yourself, right? A jury, you can explain yourself. You have a lawyer who's going to, have legal resources behind you.
Also, when you go to court, represent yourself. That's what you want to do. You want to go in there, represent yourself. Also, bring your gun to court too, to, because you might want to get your point across, and bring materials to possibly set yourself on fire.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
If you really want to protest,
and make sure we don't remember your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a dumb idea.
They can't sentence you if you're on fire.
Yeah.
So
it's hard for the jury to come back with a conviction when you're smoldering in the courtroom.
Oh, I'm convicted of whatever. Boop. I'm on fire.
That's how you know it's a
That's
bad.
How Diddy's gonna end the trial. Bunch of baby oil and flames, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, an oil fire, a grease fire on the. That's how you know setting yourself on fire is a bad protest. Because black people don't do it.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, they're the most aggrieved people in this country anyway. And I've never seen
I don't think I've seen a black person set themselves on fire ever.
No.
Yeah.
No, they'll set their neighborhood on fire, but they won't.
They'll set what on fire?
Their own neighborhood on fire. They'll set Watts on fire.
I've seen
Richard Pryor.
Well, that was an accident.
What'd he do?
He set himself on fire freebasing cocaine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And Michael Jackson set himself on fire.
Well, he didn't set himself on fire. Pepsi set him on fire.
And he was white when he did it.
Yeah.
He's
the only guy. He's the only guy out there. He's more trans than most trans people.
Michael Jackson.
Because he trans-raced.
Yeah.
And kind of gender.
Like Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, but he went race and gender. He went both. He
Yeah.
went from black to white and from male to whatever the fuck he was at the end.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, that was the
crazy.
most transformative. I mean, fucking Caitlyn Jenner. Hold my balls. Is what Michael Jackson said.
Yeah, he did. He went for it, and then he made a song that was like, "Doesn't matter,
No matter if you're black or
doesn't
white.
matter.
Well, as he transitioned from black to white.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool.
The irony of that. It
That's
doesn't matter if you're
that's
black or
awesome.
white, and he turned white.
That's kind of awesome. He kind of ruled.
Yeah, I mean, he did touch those boys though. I think that was weird.
I don't know.
Oh, you're one of those.
I
You're the
don't
only white guy
know.
that said that.
I don't know, but
Yeah, none of us really know. I mean,
Yeah.
but like I said, I'm gonna make.
it is weird.
Well, that's the thing. Why would you want to hang out with kids?
Yeah,
Like he, if anything, he should be wanting just some pussy lying around.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a guy. Or if he's a gay guy, some fucking ass, something.
he has like that stunted
Yeah.
development thing.
Yeah,
from
like
being
arrested
a
development
kid.
because of like the abuse.
Yeah, he was like a kid his whole life.
Yeah. Did your dad ever beat you to be good at tennis? The way Joe Jackson beat
He didn't
Mike?
like beat me, but he was like a little bit of a hard ass.
Really? Was it always tennis, or was there a different sport?
No, actually, like tennis, he thought was gay, so it was like,
I love your dad.
yeah. Yeah. So he didn't get it at first. I mean, he was supportive of it eventually, but like that's like where I grew up.
Yeah.
Like where
Whatever was hot at the moment. Yeah.
No, like it was like more traditional American sports like baseball and football and basketball.
Oh, it's West Virginia when you were young. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
did
played
you-
baseball and basketball.
What did you do that your dad was in West Virginia of all places?
Worked for the railroad.
Was he in Morgantown? Where was he? Like, what's the major city in West Virginia? I don't even know.
Huntington.
Huntington is the biggest city in West Virginia?
It might be the most populous, but Charleston's the capital.
Okay.
But like, if you
That's crazy. I know every fucking other state capital and major city. I couldn't tell you fucking West Virginia.
yeah, West Virginia is there's a lot of trains that run through there.
Yeah.
So CSX,
Okay.
big train company.
Was he like an engineer? Was he a smart guy and you just
He was
a fucking retard? Are you like the mailman's son? Or
No, he worked. He was like he started. That was like the only job he ever had.
Oh.
He, like worked on started like driving spikes in the ground and stuff. Worked his
his way
way
up.
up,
Yeah.
and then became like
Was he big like you, tall guy?
yeah. He's
Yeah.
like 6'3".
All right.
But yeah, he was great, good athlete, good baseball player, good basketball player.
You got siblings?
Yeah, I have a sister.
Okay. What'd she do?
She's a mom.
Okay, she's like everyone's regular but you, huh?
Yeah,
You just turned out they're just
Yeah, I'm
Regular- regular folks.
I'm retarded.
Sometimes it be like that.
like they're all just she's raising kids. My dad was driving in railroad spikes, and here I am trying to.
I'm a fucking dumbass. Yeah.
Speaking of tall, I wanted to bring this up, and I saw this, and I feel like we haven't trashed women enough on this podcast yet.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we got to get these bitches, dude. we got to set ourselves on fire in honor of hating women.
So apparently, so I saw this, and this is more of a statistical fact, but they alluded it to dating apps. So the average male height in the United States is about 5'8.5". 80% of women filter out men 5'9" or shorter on their dating apps. If you want max visibility on a dating app, be 6'6".
That's max visibility.
Yeah, taller than that, women seem to not that they don't like, but they just it's like weird. It's like it's.
I would have thought 6'4" would be max visibility.
Yeah, but
Because I think like
but-
anything over 6'5" starts to get weird.
yeah,
You
I would
start to
agree.
get into like fetish territory.
Well, no, I'm just thinking from a pragmatic standpoint, like seats on planes, door jams,
Yeah.
clothes, like
all that stuff. Yeah.
you can't shop at a normal Gap if you're 6'7". Like
No.
this is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I think it goes when I heard that 80% of women filter out men an inch taller than the average man in the United States. So I'm 5'10" or 5'10 and a half. So I'm I guess I made the cut by a half an inch or whatever. But 80% of women won't date a man 5'9" or shorter.
Yeah.
How delusional are women? Do you
Oh,
think
man.
80% of women are worth dating?
You're asking me this?
No, but here's my question. So if 80% of women won't date a man that's shorter than 5'10", do you think 80% of women are worth dating?
No.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's like
So how delusional are these bitches?
I mean,
Once they find out some of us are 6'2" and fat, they'll change their mind.
No, but I also think women don't know what they're actually. Women, I think what it is women don't know what they want.
no.
You know, it's like oh, you know.
Well, they have an idea, and then you know.
But that's why online dating is so bad. You have to meet the guy.
Yeah.
Like,
but they have an idea of what they want, and then like it's like unrealistic. You know, women live in an unrealistic world.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, so do men, but I feel like women apply the standard and like live by it.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you were joking earlier, like, yeah, I've had sex with some women in the middle of it. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. But you're like, oh, fuck it. You know, I'm here. Women think they're like, not only should they not be there, they think the world owes them something if someone offers them and like, how dare you think you could hook up with me?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, you don't prize yourself, honey.
Yeah.
You're 170 pounds, 5'3". You're a fat fucking troll. Like no one, like you'd be lucky to get a guy, any guy, let alone 6'6". You think someone wants to fuck a fat bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
You know, an NBA player 6'7" wants to bang you out. Are you insane? Like, you know, not all of you are fucking, you know, Megan Fox. Like,
Yeah.
But also like the idea that like you just rule out somebody on that. Basically, it's almost like worse than being racist. Because height, you have no control over. Like,
They are racist against height.
Oh yeah, racist against height for sure. It's like 5'9" or less. I don't want to hear it. It's like, how do you know? It's like I want to ask him, like, how tall do you think? Name your favorite actor. Tom Hardy. I bet he's 5'9". Like
Yeah.
you know,
Danny DeVito.
yeah, 4'9".
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like Brad Pitt. He's not 6'6". Like, you know, fucking
but
Miles Teller is not. Dude, I'm fucking Tom
There's
Cruise
like-
is 5'5".
Yeah,
for
but
Christ's sake.
there's factors that women like.
Bill Belichick. See how tall he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but money.
is a great equalizer.
Yeah, money and fame.
Bill Belichick and Brad Pitt, both 5'11".
There you go. Yeah, so roughly my height.
Yeah.
So like, so all like yeah. Look up Tom Hardy. I bet he's fucking pick any other star. Jason Statham. I bet is less than 6 foot tall.
5'9", Tom Hardy.
There you go. I bet The Rock is the only tall celebrity, good-looking guy that I know of. You know, like
Statham's 5'10".
yeah.
Wow.
So all these guys would be off the fucking list for
Yeah.
women on dating apps.
The Rock 6'5".
He's the only one. He's the only one I know of that's actually tall.
No, The Rock 6'5". What's that one guy? He was in the Wedding Crashers.
Vince
Jason
Vaughn,
Segel.
but he's
He's
not
6'5".
Jason
Yeah.
Segel's tall.
Yeah, but those
he's
aren't
tall.
heartthrobs. Think about the heartthrob.
Vince
Ryan
Vaughn-
Gosling. Ryan
Vince
Gosling, I
Vaughn
bet is
was-
5'11".
Wasn't Vince Vaughn?
Vince
kinda-
Vaughn's 6'5".
Yeah,
Wasn't he kinda like a
but he's not a
heartthrob guy?
sex symbol.
I thought
He's
girls
not
thought he
Brad
was-
Pitt. Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, look up Ryan Gosling.
6 foot.
Yeah, and that's all lies too. Hollywood take 2 inches off whatever the fuck they give you.
Ryan Reynolds
You know,
is 6'2".
It's like
Well, okay.
yeah, Ryan Reynolds. There you go. He's a
6'2".
taller guy. Yeah, that's probably the one. But most of these guys are like would not make the cut.
Yeah.
And but 80% of women and all
Harrison
these,
Ford 6'1".
and what's crazy
Nice.
is that all these women don't want to be single, but they have these rules. And I'm like, girl, if you want to meet somebody, you got to bend these motherfucking rules.
It's not just that though. It's like you got to be tall, but you also have to be like rich and you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite. Now that I'm my birthday's on Monday. I'll be turning 42 years old. So send me your Venmos. $42 on my 42nd birthday. Thanks.
Nice.
At Randy-Valerio.
Nice.
No, but
The only person in NSYNC that all these bitches loved growing up who was over 6 foot was the gay one.
Wow.
Joey Falcone was in.
Joey Fatone, right?
Fatone.
Nope, he's in the 5 foot gang. It was Lance Bass was the gay one.
Lance Bass.
Also an astronaut. Went to
Wait,
space like Katy Perry.
Lance Bass?
Astronaut.
The Russians sent him to space years before they sent fucking Katy Perry.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they launched his ass into space.
Lance Bass went to space.
Yeah, dude.
Why are musicians going to space?
I don't know why anybody goes to space.
What the fuck is going on? with
I thought
that?
it was the dumbest thing on the planet. When Jeff Bezos launched himself into space on his own rocket, I was making jokes about it on
If
stage.
I had a penis rocket, that's pretty cool. I'd want to show it off to everybody.
Yeah, but I
My
wouldn't
big
get on
dong rocket.
it. Yeah, but I wouldn't get on it.
I mean, I'd get on it for the pictures. I'd be on my dong rocket waving it. I'd be like, hey.
But I wouldn't let him launch me to space. Like, the fact that Jeff Bezos put his life in danger where he has 200 billions on this planet to leave the planet, it's like, why would you want to leave the planet where all your money is? All the money and pussy is down here. Nothing's up there. Stay here.
Yeah.
Like, You know, like Elon Musk, I want to go to Mars. Goodbye, you fucking dope. Like, what are you gonna die on your way there? Like, it's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life.
That is stupid because they've sent a bunch of shit into space and just blown it up.
Yeah, well, they can't get it back. All the Mars rovers are still just on Mars with dead batteries. Like, you can't get anything back. Like,
Lance Bass didn't make it to space.
He didn't?
Oh, I thought he was supposed to go up, wasn't he?
Wait, did he
The
die?
insurance company canceled at the last second. They gave away his seat to someone else.
Bro, they got space insurance?
Yeah, no, who the fuck is
You
financing
got to
that?
get space insurance to go into space?
Also, why didn't you just say, fuck it, fuck the insurance, I'll go up. I don't care if I die.
It's like, look, you're already paying for car insurance, all right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a car, all right?
Yeah, what are you going to run into up there?
It's kind of like a space car, right?
Yeah.
So, come on.
Come
on, State
If you get into
Farm.
an accident, whose fault is it? Like,
Yeah.
they're trying to determine.
They're
Like,
going to bump into another
Well, see,
fucking...
State Farm would pay if Randy or I died because we're not worth very much. But they were like, Lance Bass, if you die on this, we're not shelling out $1 billion for your ass. Fuck you.
yeah. That's my favorite meme of that though was a couple weeks ago when Jeff Bezos launched Katy Perry, Gayle King,
But they went
his
up for,
wife
like-
and some other chick into space. Somebody tweeted Jeff Bezos just paid $150 million for 90 minutes of freedom from his wife.
Nice. Yeah. Wait, so...
90 minutes apiece from his wife.
Wait, so he paid for that?
Yeah, he owns a company. He paid for it.
So what was the point of that?
Publicity. Because he has the money.
To put like a bunch of girl bosses in space?
Yeah, I don't know what
What was that? I don't really understand.
Straight up, just so he can get on TV.
Yeah. But then everybody like hates Katy Perry now for that.
Everybody hates everybody on board that plane,
But they were
including
all,
the guy who sent it up there.
They're all
the
pissed at
the
those
rocket.
people. Well, then also they were like, yeah, these astronauts. And then people were like, they're not astronauts. They had to do a disclaimer that they're not astronauts.
They should do that though, because astronauts are people who like are scientists in space. So like it's like
Why do I have to be a scientist to go to space though?
No,
you
no.
just put me in a
No,
you
but think
put
about
a
this.
monkey in there
No, but think
and
about this.
launch the monkey.
That would
Why do I have to
listen
do
this.
science?
That would be like me getting on a commercial airplane and saying I'm a pilot just because I'm sitting in the plane as a passenger.
Yeah, but
They didn't fly the fucking thing. It just goes up and down. It's already automated. They just sit there the whole time. You're not doing anything. Astronauts controlled the space shuttle. They went out and did spacewalks. They fixed the Hubble telescope. Those are astronauts. These bitches were passengers on a rocket.
That's just bullshit, dude. All right, I could be an astronaut. You know?
You think so?
Yeah. But all that math shit and all the science
Well, I
stuff.
mean,
Why do you need to know that?
That's
stuff?
true. They sent a monkey up. They can send you up.
Yeah, they say like exactly. I could drink Tang and like kind of float around in a little suit.
Would you go to space if you could?
No.
Yeah, right?
I don't even ride a roller coaster.
Really? I thought you'd be
fuck
I
that.
thought you'd be all into that.
No, dude. Fuck that shit.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Wow,
standing right
I thought
here.
for sure you was.
No, I don't.
Daredevil
I don't.
type.
No, I don't fit on the rides. It's uncomfortable. It sucks ass.
Jeff's got a girlfriend. He doesn't like roller
People.
coasters. What-
I
what else did you
never
think
liked
she did?
roller coasters. I fucking hated.
I
those
didn't when I
things.
was real young, and then I liked them for a little bit. Now I'm like,
No,
well,
I don't like them. Too many people die on them.
Spaceships and submarines would suck for a guy your height.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not doing that either. This
Submarine?
submarines,
Oh.
especially if you have a Mad Catz controller that you're controlling it with, like they did the last.
you got an
one.
Atari controller,
Dude, they literally had that with that one that blew up underwater. And what dumbasses were like, oh, that's how you're controlling it? Okay, I'll still get in it. Dumbasses.
Well, no, even better. They paid millions of dollars to do that.
Why does it cost so much to do that?
I don't know.
The mob has been sending people to the bottom of the ocean for
free
years.
for years.
For nothing. It's like, it's not hard to go down there. They got to go down there with like a generic controller from GameStop.
This is how I'm coming around to the fact that the wealth inequality in the world has gotten out of control when rich guys are dying in bizarre ways for no good reason and spending millions of dollars doing it.
But it's like,
going
okay,
to space. They spent like $20 million to go to the bottom of the ocean. Died. Why would you? What a waste of. What is
big
the point of
thing
being a
I
billionaire
can't-
if you're doing stuff like that?
Yes, but the big thing I can't understand is you're a billionaire. You want to go to the bottom of the ocean. You're going to control it with a video game controller. Why are you buying the generic controller? You can afford the one with the paddles on the back of it that's really expensive. It's just
Get the good one?
It's
Yeah.
the nicest controller you
Yeah.
can buy is $200.
Yeah.
Buy that controller.
Yeah.
It makes the experience look better.
Yeah.
When I'm
agree.
like, you got this shitty controller with the
I agree.
sticky ass buttons. Fuck your submarine, dude. I'm not getting on it until you get a controller with paddles.
And when you die, you're not going to be respected, and that's all anyone will remember.
That's right. That's right. All right, last one. We're running over a little bit here. This one spoke to my heart, and I want to know if you do this. Where is it? I just had it and fucking shut. There it is. Oh yeah. So 87% of people secretly rehearse arguments in the shower that will never happen. A new study confirms that 87% of people rehearse arguments in the shower with people, even though they never actually see or use them. These imaginary debates often feature perfect comebacks, dramatic pauses, and the occasional fake mic drop. Psychologists believe this habit comes from a mix of overthinking and the illusion of control. Now, have you guys ever had?
Okay, let me just with that stat, 80%,
87%.
it's 100%.
Yes.
And was that 13% of people are liars?
Yes, 30% of people are liars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does that.
Right? And
Fake arguments with people in the shower?
well, not necessarily in the shower. I mean, the shower is a popular place for it, but I do it like I've done it in the shower when I'm driving.
Yeah, you think about it.
You relive an
Even
argument
if
you had with your girlfriend the night before. You're like,
Yeah.
I should have said this, and fuck it, this is what I'm gonna tell
Yeah,
her.
you just think about things in retrospect. Maybe you don't do it because you're like not a comedian or something, but I feel like we kind of replay things that happen.
I don't
all
have
the
enough
time.
relationships with people. I've managed to cut that part out of my life, so I don't have to replay these things.
He rehearses arguments with ChatGPT in his head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm writing scripts of fictitious. I'm way ahead of this. I'm like fictitious arguments of people who don't exist to me.
Yeah. You created
That's the level we're on.
You created You created two imaginary
You
people
are
and have them
having
have a fake argument.
arguments in the shower, but it's like you're writing it as like a
A
script.
third person, yeah.
Yeah.
None of them affect my day at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's, I mean, the shower's a big part, the shower, driving, anything where you're doing like a mindless routine is where you're, where my mind anyway tends to go to overthink. But I've relitigated arguments in my head.
Oh, yeah.
And then had arguments that or like discussions I'm preparing for in my head. I'm going to say
100%.
this and this and this. And it never works out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What was the last one you had in your head? Was it a girlfriend argument?
Every day.
Every day. I was going to say.
I don't even. It's just every.
It happens to me too.
I mean, okay. I just like. I'm in between like a thing with fucking Spirit Airlines right now.
Oh, you're at war with Spirit?
Yeah.
What'd they do?
Dickheads. I just want my receipt for my flight,
They won't give you a receipt?
dude. It's like, okay. Have you tried to get a receipt for an airline after you do the flight? It's like impossible.
When you book it, don't they send you an itinerary with the receipt? Like right away?
Yeah. But if you like
Oh,
don't
it
have
already
that,
happened once? It
Yeah.
already happened? You're like, hey,
Yeah.
can you give me a copy of it?
yeah, that's like impossible to get for some reason. So like,
Really?
yes, multiple airlines are like this.
CVS prints
You
out,
have to be like-
CVS prints out the fucking encyclopedia when I go get anything at CVS.
Yeah.
And they can't get you a fucking...
So you have to like contact them if you want the receipt. Like they don't want to show you for some reason. They'll show you like the points. They're like, you got this many points. I'm like,
Just show
me how much human like
Money.
dollars
Yeah.
I spent. And then it's like, oh, like do this shit. And then I had to do a support call and then like,
Just to get a receipt.
yeah.
That's fucking bananas.
Yeah, and it's not just Spirit. There's other airlines.
Which is
that are
crazy
like
with
that,
the
too.
airlines, because airlines are notorious. Obviously, they want to know who you are. You have to have a real ID, the new real IDs. You have to take your shoes off at the airport. You have to do all this to get on the plane. But then you can't say, hey, can you send me a piece of paper telling me what I pay for this flight? No, we can't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, what? My name's on a fucking TSA list. You telling me you can't? If the FBI wanted to know who was on this flight and how much they paid, could you get them a list of people and the prices? Yeah, I'm sure. Then give me the fucking receipt. Like,
Yeah.
they know. That's how they count.
Horrible.
They count their revenue. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that was probably like my last like just give me my fucking receipt, dude.
Yeah, dude. What I've done, my latest thing in the shower is remembering things that you don't want to. And you're just like, oh, you should, like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to think about that moment again. Like you have to
that
shake it
sucks.
out.
Yeah. That sucks.
That's lately what's been going on with me.
Yeah.
But the arguments in the shower, yeah. Oh my god. I mean, I've had so many perfect arguments in my head. I just
Oh yeah. I win all of them in the shower.
yeah, undefeated.
Dominating. Yeah, undefeated. Those are like I'm representing myself in court.
Yeah, you're the Johnny Cochran of arguments in your own head.
Yeah. Perfect, yeah.
Oh man, so much fun having you as always, bud. Congrats on the new, not so new girlfriend that I didn't know about. Keeping
Yeah,
a
man.
secret. Is there a reason you're hiding her? Is she a man? What's going on?
No, she's
Is she a they?
No.
She might be. You don't know.
No, I know.
Give her some time.
No.
She might change her mind.
She won't.
You might love a he. You never know.
No, I won't. I'm 100% straight.
Well, I hope that's going well for you. But where can the people find you? Where are you going to next? This is coming out tomorrow because we're recording it on Wednesday. It's coming out tomorrow. We're
Oh, wow. I will be at the West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica on Thursday.
Oh, are you? Okay.
So,
Who else is performing down there?
I
What show is
forget,
it?
but me.
Okay.
So,
I don't know what show is it. Comedy Juice? What is it?
Yeah, I forget the show.
We'll talk
but
after the
it's,
show.
Yeah, it's Thursday at the West Side Comedy Theater. And then in a couple weeks, I'll be in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
JP?
Yep. Oklahoma
Nice. Still
Theater,
running with
JP
him? Nice.
Sears.
Where does he live? Does he live in Nashville or something?
He lives in Austin.
Okay.
And then check me out on all of my social medias,
Yes,
Jeff
yes.
Zenisek, and sign up for my comedy mailing list on my link in my bio.
Yeah, he's going old school.
I'm going to be doing like tour stuff, so I want
Fuck
people
yeah.
to...
You need an opener. I'm your guy, buddy.
Hell yeah, dude.
I work cheap. All you
Fuck
got to
yeah.
do is suck my dick once.
Okay, that's...
For like the
price too
Not per
high.
show, per year.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Just so you know.
All right. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nice. Are you still doing the Two Woke Boys with old...
No, we ended the Two Woke Boys podcast.
I was going to say, because it seems like Trump's victory was the, sort of the pinnacle of it.
Yeah, I mean, we had done Woke Boys for 4 years.
Yeah, it's
so.
it's one of my favorites, dude. I still send the clips back and forth to my buddy Don.
It was a fun show, yeah.
all the time. So good.
Yeah, fun show. We might, revisit it at some point or
Yeah,
something.
maybe you and I should do a podcast, get you on here permanently.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. We'll just start a different one. We could fucking a new title. Use the same Libsyn feed, so I don't have to pay twice.
Nice.
Fucking skim off the top.
I like it.
A little special. Yeah, check him out at Jeff Zenisek on everything, right?
Yep.
You can follow me at Randy Valero. Follow the podcast at Ready Set Blow. All the shit I should say at the beginning, but I never do. I got dates coming up, but I don't have them. They're not recently, but they'll be in June. I'll let you guys know. That's it for this one, guys. Peace.